What's up, guys? Before we begin this podcast, I want to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean, because these are our favorite producers of ball trimmers, Manscaped. And the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming, they're leaving 2021 with new product. Clean yourself into the new year with the Ultra Premium Body Wash. Also, special offer alert. Use the code GODEEP for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. 4 million men already trust Manscaped. Time to join them. Also, guys, we are doing the Manscaped giveaway at the end of the episode. You're going to hear some stories and check it out. We're also brought to you by the legends at Athletic Greens. What up, Athletic Greens? I'm super big on health. I love all things health. Athletic Greens is legit. Life is busy and your well-being is important. Athletic Greens makes it so easy to get the vitamins you need every day with just one scoop. Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Visit athleticgreens.com/GoDeep for a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/GoDeep. All right, let's start the show.
What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
Have you been to like Amish Country?
No. I probably have driven through
Sick,
it, but I
dude.
haven't like kicked it.
It's fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
Did you guys see them make those fireplaces?
No.
No.
That
is that
they
what they're
sell? Have
known
you seen
for?
those commercials? It's like a portable fireplace that looks like fire, but it's not fire.
Oh, really?
But the commercial's always like made by Amish guys.
Really?
Whoa.
Women, I don't know, Amish people.
Dude, the
Yeah.
horse and buggies
Yeah.
haul ass.
Yeah, they
No.
fly.
They fucking like, we were there last winter, so like the horses, you could see their breath, you know, they're
Right,
just
that's fucking
trotting
cool.
away, and they fucking flew by us. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Like you were driving and the horse and buggy went past?
We were
yeah,
like,
they were on the freeway and they bolted past.
Yeah,
us at,
dude,
like,
yeah.
And were
70,
you guys
dude.
driving slow because it was snowy and you were kind of being cautious?
no, we were hauling ass,
Yeah.
and they just fucking blew it.
Mennonites
Did
don't
they
mess around.
hit you with the bird? Like, fuck out of here. This is our country.
I mean, one guy called me a bitch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're a bitch.
You're a bitch.
You're a bitch, Chad Kroger. You're a bitch. Stay out of my town."
He saw you on YouTube during his Rumspringer.
Yeah. He's like, you going to prank me, bitch?
Such a cool name, the Rumspringer. Like for like their spring break, I think it just fits.
Yeah. I feel like I love that they have it, but also I want to just go, you guys know you can do this all the time, right? You don't have to just do it for a week.
Yeah, they should have more than one Rumspringer. They should have like an every 5-year redip Rumspringer.
Every spring.
Every spring Rumspring.
Hey, it's Rumspringer or whatever it's called, and just you can while out for 3 months.
Yeah.
They probably have too many children at that point.
How young do they start having? I mean, I don't want to get into like the weird intricacies of this culture, because then you're like, are the women getting married at 15 and like having a bunch of kids by 20 already? And
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
was it really that cool now that you think about it?
Dude. I mean, for me, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
What was like the highlight? Because they're like carpenters. I'm basing all of this on Kingpin, the
Such a
bowling
good
movie.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, top 5 comedy for sure.
10 frames, that's for Quakers.
Yeah.
I think the highlight was their sandwiches.
No
Oh,
shit.
right. Yeah.
They had a great deli. Because, you know,
Interesting.
they put some, they're like, I don't know if they're like this at all, but I'm going to go with it. They're like samurai in terms of their level of precision with their day-to-day crafts.
I mean, what else are they doing?
That's right. So
Yeah.
all their pleasure and all their focus is just going into like, how do I cut this turkey even finer?
Right.
And they cut it fine.
Dude,
right.
yeah.
Right.
They cut it fine.
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 I mean,
It's a fine cut of turkey.
Like
We did-
1990s salt and pepper. Fine.
yeah, dude.
Like how they would
Oh,
describe
dude.
men in the 90s.
I was listening to Touch It on the way over here.
Yeah.
No joke. Fires me up.
Are we
Uh,
rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, great. We
I-
can keep all this in. I think it's
Great.
really cool. with it. Yeah.
I thought we were rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like looking. I was like, are we?
I'm in my podcast voice. I'm 15% kicked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever like churn ice cream or butter when you're in like grade school?
No, but like when I go to Cold Stone and I watch those forearms,
Oh, dude.
I'm like, wow, how long? And I ask, I'm like, how long does that take to kind of not be sore at the end of the day. And they say it takes like a month.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, honestly, there's nothing better than Cold Stone.
It's good.
I love it. Is that your go-to ice cream spot?
No, I don't have a go-to ice cream spot. You know, we go to like Salt and Straw, but I'm a milkshake guy.
Right.
So I just go to like, I just go to places to get a milkshake.
You a basic flavors guy or an exotic flavors guy?
Well, it's interesting. For milkshakes, you can do too much, you know? Like if you go beyond what a cookies and cream has in it, all of a sudden you're clogging the straw.
It's too
Right.
convoluted.
And then it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But there's a place in Palm Springs that I took my kids to that I can't remember the name of. But if you go and you Yelp milkshakes, Palm Springs, this place is fucking insane. And they put all sorts of crazy shit into it. But the milkshake itself is highly drinkable. But like on top of it, there'll be like extra cookies or like some sort of like popcorn ball or whatever the flavor you get.
Right.
An entire fucking Snickers bar will just be like in it.
Dude, nice.
But they still give you that smooth viscosity.
Exactly.
Dude, that's clutch.
Yeah,
Is it the blenders? They got good blenders?
They gotta have like the steel cup blender. You know what I mean? Where it's like it goes in and it's
Yeah.
like the pole with the little circle
like
thing.
industrial.
Dude,
Yeah.
I had that at my mom's house.
Whoa.
Dude,
Living
Not
the
to
dream,
flex,
dude.
not to flex.
That's a
but-
big
did you
flex,
live
dude,
like
but respect.
above a
Dude,
diner?
What's dude? Yeah. no. We would make those milkshakes and yeah, it's the best. Yeah.
I was at a steakhouse the other night and I wanted, you know how people like act like big shots when they're at a dinner and they're like, let me smell the wine and all
Always,
that stuff.
yeah.
But you got to do it. It's part of the ritual. But I was going to order a pina colada and say, let me see your blender first and make them bring the blender to the table.
Dude, nice.
But you didn't.
It's all just what could have happened.
Yeah. Isn't that most of life? The like,
The fantasy of what could happen.
right.
Yeah. Oh, I think about that all the time.
What stops it? We just don't want to be a jerk to the other people because oftentimes our fantasies would require a lot of work from others.
Right.
A lot of my fantasies require a dance number, and I haven't worked up to that.
Right.
You know, I just, you know, it's just me breaking out in dance, but I just don't have anything choreographed yet.
Well, think about all the stuff you've
Well,
done
get
in your
on it.
life so far. You'll get it, dude. I see you guys and like how you attack.
Dude, thank you.
You'll get it.
Are you for real right now?
I don't know. I think I'm just trying to be like supportive like you guys
No,
are.
no, just.
But really, like, what are you fucking talking about? Dance number? No, I don't. But I was watching. This is how old I am. I'm scrolling on Instagram the other day, and it's House of Highlights or some basketball.
Good account.
Feed was like
Good solid account.
they had was it Greg Odom, that super tall dude who's out of the NBA already, but he was like 7'2", athletic, and he just kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
So there's a video of this old lady going, "Hey, do you play basketball?" And he was like super nice to this old lady. He was like, "I used to." And then the caption was like, "Can you imagine what Greg Odom could have done if he had still been playing and never got hurt?" And I'm like, how about we take that saddle off him
Right.
and just maybe he's going to be an amazing coach. Maybe he's going to go like start some nonprofit for kids in basketball. Like, who fucking cares what he would have been? Like,
yeah.
he probably wonders, and we wonder, and we can wonder. Of course, everyone can do what they want, but like, take it easy. Just the dude's
it's
not
brutal.
playing anymore.
That's almost the most popular sports documentary genre is like what could have been. It's like Marcus Dupree or like Bo
Right.
Jackson. I mean, even though they had illustrious careers, but just compared to what we expected, we're like,
Penny had a good one.
yeah,
Right?
Penny's a good one.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, like this guy could have. We almost like that more than the incredible ones because it's like
Right.
I don't know.
But it's also fucking weird because don't we all have that documentary?
Maybe that's what it is. We relate to it. We
Like,
all could have been the
yeah.
greatest.
Like, what if I like Mr. Destiny, the sick Jim Belushi movie,
Yeah.
where he's like, if I just hit that baseball in
like,
high
Little
school,
League,
would it,
right?
yeah, would
Yeah.
it change his life forever? It's like, cool, all right, yeah, but let's just let Greg Odom move on.
Man,
And you know,
coach will
he's
put me
lucky in
in
a lot of
fourth
ways
quarter.
too because he had like a dick pic come out.
Did
And-
he?
Yeah, he sent it to someone and they leaked it.
Was
and
it?
his dick was big.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's no doubt in my mind that it would be.
His dick was
Do you-
really big.
do you
so
think if-
I was almost like, thank God.
He'll be okay.
Because I was like, his NBA career is getting cut short. He's found out in like 3 minutes because he just doesn't have the mobility.
Right.
But every day when he goes back into the locker room, he's like, it's not all bad.
Yeah, he's hogging.
Well, do you think that if his career hadn't been cut short, his dick would be bigger.
I do believe that. I do believe success makes your dick bigger.
Yeah, you'll get some girth. I don't know if it would have been longer, but you might thicken up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
You got more blood pumping throughout your body.
Yeah.
Right.
A good, nice, sort of well-pronounced bell end.
For sure. Yeah. Man, I always like to describe a long dick. No, I'm serious. If a dick is long,
I'm serious too.
it has slack.
Oh, dude, that's so true.
Do you know what I mean?
Smart.
Like, if your dick doesn't have slack to it, it's not long.
If it's not like a line on a fishing pole that you could kind of reel in and tense up a little bit.
If you can't, basically it's this. If you whip it up or whip it down, if all of it comes at the same time, you don't have slack. If some of it comes later with that motion, you have slack.
Like a rubber bat when you swing them.
Yes,
when you swing
exactly.
them hard.
Yes. So if that action causes your dick to arrive at 2 or 3 different moments, you have slack. You're hogging.
Can I ask you something? When did you realize this? When did you make this kind of?
This was a Workaholics writer's room where I was just like, yeah, that guy's dick has slack.
Wow.
And did people look at you and they're like, you nailed it?
I had to step it out a little bit, you know.
What do you mean?
Right.
Like I had to explain it a little more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of like how I just stepped it out here because you're like, yeah, okay, slack, but I'm like, no, like that's how you know.
Right.
You know.
I never
assume.
thought about it that way.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Long dick.
Did you guys get pretty wild in the writer's room sometimes with your idea tangents?
Oh, I mean the day was 85% tangent. You
That's
know what
great,
I mean?
though.
Mm-hmm.
But then what people and myself we like to do is go, hey, fuck, that story you just told about high school or whatever, like that could be Blake, you know,
Yeah.
or like that could be me at this business conference that we go to. We have that embarrassing story. So like, you know, it always helps when people tell like, not that I'm a guy who's like, what's the real thing that would happen? Because a lot of times that's boring for me personally. I do like things to be a little heightened.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can take someone's real story and then kind of saddle it with a little bit more of an exciting backdrop or something like that, then it does have this something inside of it grounds it.
It's got those two things going at the same time. It's got the silliness, but it has the realness.
Right, exactly. And then somebody can, and you can sense that, I think.
Yeah, you
know?
can feel it. It's like 10 feet off the ground, but still touching it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's the best kind of.
Yeah, you know, and we would just, we would bullshit almost all day long. And we worked next to a Target. So, like, we would just go buy the dumbest shit, like little new toys or new whatever. A lot of foam rollers. A lot of, like, little workout knickknacks. And
So you can just move around while the ideas are fun. You're just on your back, like stretching
had a
out.
bongo board in the room.
Dude, those are fun.
Yeah. Some producer came in and was like, oh, what's this? He's like, older guy, fit guy, but older guy, had never been on one, ate shit.
Love
Yeah.
it.
And
Well, you step off and it flew out.
yeah, was like on a call. And another producer just like watched it happen and was like, oh my God. And like didn't do anything. And somebody helped him up. And it fucked him up for like a year.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't like break a hip or anything, but like
He
might have
laugh and he'd be
cracked a
like,
rib, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get older, those things start to happen, and they have
Yeah.
a longer tail on them.
Have you guys bongo board?
I've
Or Indo board is that also?
I have an
I call
Indo
it
board in
Indo
my
board.
place, and dude, I ate shit actually last year. I haven't been Indoing lately, but I do
What?
have one. Yeah, I've been Indoing. I haven't Indoed in like, I think it's the rain.
You didn't tell me that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I do have an Indo board in my my workspace.
Can you do sick like shit on it?
I can
Like,
do
can
one.
you spin it 180?
I mean, I could do a
land?
180 spread eagle.
Yeah. Wait, what's that then?
It's where you 180, but you fly your limbs out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just to like show that
Right.
you can spread eagle.
Yeah.
But that's the extent. But dudes can actually do like legit tricks on there.
I know. It gets crazy. I've told this story before, but it's so good. I got to tell it again.
Let it rip.
Do you guys remember chat roulette?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right? Game changer.
Yeah.
Kind of like that Ford electric car from the 90s that they canceled and then now everything's electric. This was just like before like camming exploded, right? we would be on it in the writer's room, and it was like, you know, dude's dick, dude's dick, dude's dick, dude's dick, chick, whoa, and then she would click past us because we'd be like, ah!
Yeah.
And one time we were like flipping through it, and there was a guy on an Indo board.
Just naked.
No. I mean,
You
fuck.
like spice that up for an episode.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would be
yeah.
amazing. We found, and he was doing Indo board, and we were like, yo, and like we held up our Indo board, and he was like, yeah. And then we just kept watching him Indo board for a little while, and then I think he was like, all right, and then just clicked us. But it was when it was still kind of exciting on the internet, you know?
Yeah.
When it was like there was a promise, you know?
That reminds me of like the Ebombs world kind of phase where it's just crazy videos and
Yeah.
it's wild, wild west.
Do you have an E-bomb video that pops into your head immediately when someone says E-bombs world?
I'm not sure if this is Ebombs world, but Cake Farts.
Which one was
Did
Cake
you watch
Farts?
Cake Farts? It's just with this this girl's like she's like, happy birthday, I'm gonna give you some cake farts, and she just like sits bare ass in a cake and then
Yes.
like farts
Yes.
with frosting on her ass.
Right.
That would make me vomit.
Dude, I actually enjoyed it.
E-bombs. E-bombs
You
is-
liked it.
I did like it, yeah.
Like liked it sexually, or liked it like you thought she was really sweet.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice gesture.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
That is her being her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it's not being her, she's willing to go there for somebody.
It was like
She's
it was
scratching an
impressive.
itch.
She put herself out there.
She really let it loose.
Do you have an E-bombs vid?
I mentioned this not too long ago. I've only been on there once. I was with a kid in college who we were like kind of chummy, but not really homies. And then he was
Right.
like, "Do you like fucked up shit?" And then he just showed me like a dead person.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nah, dude."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I don't like dead bodies, but I do like, you know, I'm a deranged pervert, but that shit doesn't scratch anything for me."
I know what you mean, but you always meet that guy who's like, you like fucked up shit, and you're like, you got to get out of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We chill
Do
you-
differently.
do you have
There's
an
a guy out
E-bombs
there
world?
for you, but
I
not
got
me.
one, and it's like I'll never forget it. You know, it was a guy kind of sitting on the floor of his like party with a beer, like a giant Starbucks cup, not grande. That's the smallest, right? Venti,
Venti.
right? Full of beer, and he's just like slumped over, barely alive. And he just vomits. He sips the cup, then he vomits into the cup. And then without even like knowing or realizing,
No.
he just takes another huge
Oh
gulp.
god.
Come on.
And he has no idea. He's just, you know,
Man, dude, I
but classic.
Lost in the sauce.
that reminded me of another one. Shake That Bear. Do you ever see?
Oh yeah.
Dude, Shake That Bear. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember that one?
No, what's
Yeah.
that one?
So Shake That Bear is this couple. They shoot a bear out of a tree and it dies, and then they just fuck on the bear, and so they're just having sex doggy style over the bear, and she's holding on to the bear. So he's like, yeah, shake that bear, shake that bear.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I had like a big stuffed animal bear, and I used to practice sex on it. My parents walked in on me one time going
Right.
down on it.
Really? Do you have like a hole in it, or are you just
I
practicing
was
the
just
motion?
practicing going down
What's crazy
for
is
like 30 minutes.
as a parent
nice.
now, what you don't know is your parents got you that for that reason.
I think my parents, like my dad was
To,
at
like,
Toys R
explore.
Us, and he was like,
Yeah.
JT can practice on this thing.
Yeah.
My mom was like, practice what? He's like, all the sex stuff. And my
Yeah.
mom was like, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as
Good
it,
development. They'd
as-
always ask me how the bear is and if I was taking care of it.
So wait, did you watch that on E-bombs? Or sorry, did you watch that on E-bombs, or did you see that on?
I think there's shakethatbear.com.
Oh fuck!
Oh, it had a homepage.
You gave it its own like little hit. Yeah.
There was that lemon party one of
Oh,
like
dude,
the three
brutal.
really old dudes blowing
Hilarious.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like a Lucian Freud painting. They were like so flabby in their skin and like grotesque.
Yeah, but they're legends now.
They live forever.
You know, they walk around and people are like, you, and they just kind of.
Do you have any fear of becoming a meme, or are you optimistic about it? Like you'd love to be like,
It's out of your control, right?
right.
You
We
know,
have to
like
just
you
give
can
up.
try. I do think it is the new marker of success, right? Like,
Yeah.
I just watched Squid Games a little while ago, and like the old guy became a meme, and you know everybody at Squid Games was like, "Fuck yes, we made it." Because having people watch your show, talk about your show, doesn't matter. But when it becomes part of what is the new culture, like
The new currency. of
you've arrived. Yeah,
communication. Yeah. And then it just bums me out when it's like Jordan crying. And I know he can take it,
but he can't control it, you know. And like at least he's I mean, of course, his shoes are selling like hotcakes. Those are like pancakes. But like it gave him a new relevancy in a way that wasn't like himself, not just like the idea of him. You know.
Sad Keanu. Dude, I'd love a sad Chad.
Is that where he's just sitting on the bench?
He's sitting like looking down.
Yeah.
And I was watching him on Colbert, and he's like, I was hungry. And I believe him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get sad when I'm hungry for sure.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, it's a whole emotional roller coaster.
How's that fruit smash?
Yeah, dude, he's drinking a fruit smash.
Smashing some fruit smash, hard seltzer. This is Berry Blast, and it hits just right.
Boom,
Dude,
dude.
nice.
Cut that and send it to Fruit Smash.
Look at these sharks. Sharks, records, and fruit on a can. Oh, and some cards. Fuck.
That's fun.
Yeah, these guys get it.
Hey, thanks, man.
You were talking about guys who live earlier?
Huh?
That's living in a can.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a slice of life in a can. Fruit smash.
Let's smash.
I mean, that's got to be some guy's line, right? At a bar. Just gives a girl a fruit smash. Goes, hey, it's a fruit smash. Let's smash. And she just is like, thanks for the drink.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, ooh, that is delicious. Stop.
That's a nice little exchange.
Yeah.
So you think she accepts the drink?
Yeah.
Would you, yeah, I was like, if that happened to you, but I guess if that happened to a guy, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that,
Do guys get offered drinks? Isn't that fun? Though? Isn't that
by other guys like bros? Bros would be like, let me buy you a drink.
I guess it's so rare that you'd be like, oh wow.
Right.
If
And
a
it
girl
is
wanted
kind
to
of
buy me a drink, I'd be
fun.
fired up.
Yeah.
There is something fun and playful in the are you getting this round?
Yes.
To a woman who might expect that she'd be getting the round, like receiving the round.
Flip the
Right.
expectations.
You
a
know,
little
and
bit.
go, do you ever buy rounds, or you just let people buy rounds for you? And sometimes they can flip it right back to you and go, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And then you go,
And that's badass.
and that's badass. But there's also something sweet where it's like, okay, I'll get this round. It's no big deal. And then you disappear.
And then you take the drink and you go, hey, nice to meet you. And then you're laying the foundation for if you ever run into each other 15 years from then. You're like, hey, I was the guy who
Right.
pulled that fast one on you.
Right.
She's
Thanks
like,
for
I've
the
been
fruit
thinking about
smash.
you every day since. And
Mm-hmm.
you're like,
And she's
yeah.
like, that's strange.
Yeah.
I'm married with 2 kids now.
Yeah.
This
You're
has to
like-
stop.
You're like,
Yeah.
fuck,
You
dude,
can't be at this playground.
I totally misplayed this.
You're drinking fruit smash at this playground? Not okay.
I
know?
hear you. I hear you. I'm so sorry. I had a plan and I just stuck to it way too closely. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave.
You're
But
like, you know how Greg Odom, like if he didn't get injured, she's like, stop. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Let's take that saddle off his back.
just let him live. Let Greg
Yeah, let him
do it.
live.
I guess I've had a lot of false ways of thinking about things.
Can I just try this line? Thank you for the fruit smash. Now let's smash.
Mm-hmm. Who says? Oh, you say that.
No, I'm saying the guy 15 years later,
Right,
he's
right,
been
right.
thinking about saying that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what he landed on.
Yeah.
That's what he's been cultivating. in
She
his
just
dome.
starts crying. She's like,
Cries? She's been having a hard day. The kids are driving her nuts.
I think it's almost like she sees how broken he's become.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. And she mourns not what they could have had, but what
What he could have been.
been.
Had he not been so fixated on this one thing.
Right. Because she's like, God.
And she doesn't have the bandwidth to help him heal. Like, she has a family. She has her
She's
career
busy.
running a magazine.
Of course.
Like,
She's
she
doing
can't
it
just
all.
be there for him in that moment. She can only put like one hand lightly on his shoulder. Because also, if she touches his shoulder too
No,
much,
no,
he's
no,
going
no.
to take that as an indicator of
Right.
we're on.
Right.
You know, so she has to just give him a light pat and say,
Right.
"You'll be all right."
Right.
But in her head, she don't think he's going to be all right.
Maybe even she just gives him some knuckles.
Yeah.
Hey, and he goes, like in that, you know, it's over when she just goes
Fist bump.
right here, and
Yeah.
you know,
Do you think that guy could still be president?
how old is he?
He's
Is he
40
35?
He's 47.
So he's old enough.
No.
I was gonna say yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, of course, why not? I mean, like he has now he's got resilience. He's got a story. You know, the world is his oyster.
I could see Lyndon B. Johnson doing something like that.
Right. Back in the day.
If he was
Yeah.
cheating on Bird.
Yeah.
Nice pull.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
On both. I don't know really who either of those guys are.
I heard LBJ, though, did fool around on Bird, and I heard he was upset that JFK had a reputation for being a Lothario, and like would say to his aides like, I've hooked up with way more chicks than JFK.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then everyone was like, yeah, but we don't want to think about that.
Different era.
Yeah, like we want to think about JFK doing it. He like looks the part, he sounds the part. Like you're like a fuddy-duddy. No one wants to think about you banging. He's like, but I bang. And they're like, nah, dude, you don't bang. Ill.
He gathers everyone in the situation room. He's like, here's footage.
Yeah, here's the situation.
Here's the situation.
You guys, let me show you what the situation is.
Yeah.
Is he the one who looks like Bill O'Reilly?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
You want the JFK who's got that like Don Draper body,
Yeah.
right? The good hair, doesn't
yeah.
sweat during sex
No, not at all.
at all, right?
Even if it's physical, even if it's rigorous, even if he's carrying her around.
Yeah.
He just,
That's got to be his move, right?
He's cool in the pocket, JFK. But he said he got headaches if he didn't like bust every day. So he was kind of beholden to his
Dude, nice.
sexual impulse.
I feel like that was an era, right, where you could just kind of say that thing, like say, yeah, I have to have sex or else I get a headache, and like science wasn't good enough to disprove it yet.
And
Yeah.
the world would like support that person and be like, guys, make sure he's having sex. Like he's
Right.
got a lot of pressure going on.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
We
know,
got
and
news.
Blue Balls was like this. It's not like it's not real, but it's not as like
Pronounced.
devastating as guys leaned into a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, and by the way, if you're still doing that, it's got to stop.
Well, now the culture is reversed, so we have Will Smith saying that it makes him vomit.
To have
Casual sex.
Yeah.
casual sex.
Yeah.
Will's having a moment right now.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a big point of conversation on here. I don't know. I don't know.
The way he said that.
I don't know,
Very
dude.
matter of fact.
Look, Will Smith. Here's the thing: is that everything has been shrouded in secrecy. Not secrecy, but it seems like it was a little too like perfect.
Right.
And now we're finding out that it was imperfect, right? Or at least it just wasn't what they were saying it was.
Yeah.
So we don't know what to think. We don't know how to care about it. And you want to feel he's trying to make people feel sorry for him or like feel relatable. And it's like, I'm sorry, man, you're Will Smith.
Yeah.
You're a movie star. You've had it a certain way since you were 16, I guess, since parents couldn't understand him. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to feel bad for you about feeling nauseous from fucking.
Yeah.
That's not going to do it for me.
I think if I were his therapist, I would say just keep doing pull-ups. Just stick to pull-ups.
Or even just straight grip hang.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's so
Right.
good for your shoulder girdle.
Right.
That fixes everything. I heard a guy say it on Rogan. He said it fixes
Everything.
everything. He's like, literally, whatever your problem is, like if you got upper like
Right.
gastrointestinal issues, just hang on a bar, dude.
So you think if he's just hanging on a bar and getting domed out, no nausea?
Tough to picture getting nauseous in that moment. That's the thing about Will. He's complaining about stuff like that. Will's like, oh, you think it's perfect hanging on a bar and getting
Right.
domed off? He's like, it's not perfect.
Right.
And then you're like, well, you don't know my life, Will.
Right.
Yeah.
And can he bust before letting go?
Dude, I think Will's tough enough that he can bust and stay on the bar.
Right.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
with this new body. Didn't he just send out pictures of his like, because he was like
He got
fat, dad
now
bod,
he's
blah,
shredded.
blah.
Wasn't even really that fat.
Right. And but exactly. That's why we're like, dude, stop.
He's like, I'm
You
25 pounds overweight. I'm like, you look normal.
You
bro.
look normal. You can't do this. Now, if you were morbidly obese and we hadn't seen you for 2 years at all,
That would have been amazing. Like a clump.
and then you sent out a picture and said like you were in this deep, dark depression, everyone would have been like, save Will Smith. But because you were like, I'm depressed, I'm 15 or 20 pounds overweight, that's how we know you don't get it.
It's like he needed something to battle. Like he was like, let
Yeah.
me get fake depressed so then I can overcome it and have like this. I need to have some triumph and a journey.
All you got to do is go, my wife doesn't like fucking me. And then everyone goes, that's rough.
Yeah, cut to the quick.
That's it. That's rough. We don't care. The weight thing, like, and by the way, if you can also go, I don't like fucking her anymore either.
Yeah.
You know? And then everyone
That
goes,
would be so real.
all right, you guys should get this thing called divorced.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it. It's
Right.
not a big deal. Your kids are adults. Get out there, Will.
And your kids are crushing it. Like, I thought those kids were going to be just like pure weirdos, but they're pure weirdos with like talent. Like, they kind of rip.
When did you guys figure out that Jaden and Willow were plays on Will and Jada?
Just now.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait,
Yeah.
what did you just say?
Jaden is Jada and Willow is Will or
And
William.
they flipped it.
Yeah.
They X'd it.
Oh right, Jaden's the
I mean,
oh.
look, these people are operating
Born a male.
Wow.
Yeah.
at a Xenu level.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
Yeah.
bananas.
You can't do that and then try to be vulnerable.
No.
Just stick to pull-ups, dude.
Get yourself a fruit smash. Do a bunch of pull-ups.
That should have been his book. Is called Will, but it should have been getting domed down pull-up bars.
I mean, at least
steals,
try it.
He steals
dude.
Dan Bilzerian's manuscript and he's like, just throw my name on it.
Man, that's the guy who we should all bail out, right? Where is he? Is
Yeah.
he having dark moments right now?
He's
I
doing-
want to see Dan Bilzerian at 300 pounds, slovenly, just like
I'm fat, dude.
having like
I'm fucking fat.
And by the way, I don't think this was even a bad moment for a person, but if Dan Bilzerian had it at like 350, the David Hasselhoff hamburger on the floor moment,
Yeah.
one of the most incredible videos of all time.
I'm like, oh, he's eating a hamburger on the floor?
Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
You didn't think that was humiliating for Hasselhoff?
People made it humiliating, but who gives it? I thought it was. I'm
But
like,
it was the
I've
way-
had a hamburger on the floor.
It was the way he was picking it up in pieces, though.
What was he saying?
He probably
was
doesn't like
smashed.
tomatoes.
He was smashed.
He probably said no tomatoes. They left tomatoes on there, and he was like, "God, fucking." Even David Hasselhoff has
Yeah.
picks tomatoes on his burgers inside.
What was he saying?
His
Anything,
daughter
or
was-
was he just hammered?
His daughter
He
was
was
recording
hammered.
him hammered, and she was like, "Remember, Dad? You told me you weren't going to drink anymore." He's like, "Yeah, I remember that." And then she's like, "And he told me to record you if you do it again." He's like, "Yeah, I might have said that." And then he's just eating hamburger parts off the floor,
Just getting aired out by his own daughter. By the way,
getting
like,
crucified by his own kin,
and,
bro.
and look, fine, but this man gave us Baywatch.
Put some respect on his name.
Thank you. Gave us Knight Rider.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably got some shit going down.
Yeah.
He's hammered. He's eating a hamburger. He's not plowing his car into a school,
No DUI.
right? Like, let
No
this
assault.
man eat a hamburger on the ground and then go to Germany and sing.
And
Nice.
and you know, yeah, he was there when they tore down the wall. Like, this dude's a part of history forever.
Was he? He was
Yeah,
there?
that's who they brought in to sing when the wall came down.
Right.
For real?
Everyone, they could have had Phil Collins. They could have had Peter
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel. They probably could have had Michael Jackson. I don't know.
Yeah.
They went with Hasselhoff.
Wow.
And then his daughter, you know, he wasn't even being mean to his daughter in the video. It wasn't like the Baldwin voicemail.
Oh my, that's an all-timer.
Where he's
That's
like-
an all-timer.
He's like, "You little pig."
Or the
Calls her a little pig.
the
Does he
Mel
really?
the Mel Gibson one is
that's
the-
next level. That's scorched earth.
He's just yelling at her and like saying the most insane things that you really have to have like,
Some venom in your heart.
yeah.
He said the
yeah.
most racist thing I've ever heard anyone say.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
bad.
Mel.
Quite the imagination,
Yeah.
you know. Also was talking about how like she had foreign bodies in her, like fake breast implants, I believe.
Oh, really?
And he was like, that disgusts me.
Which he loved,
And it's like-
90% of the time.
Yeah.
Chill.
Interesting.
He's like, "I just think they look ridiculous. That's just an appraisal."
yeah.
It's funny because he's pretty smart, so he still uses nice words. In
Oh,
it.
dude,
You're
he's
like,
a
"Oh, that's
filmmaker
That's
of
crazy. He thought to
high
use the word
level.
appraisal there. I was like,
Yeah.
"That's interesting."
Right.
I've never heard that in like a vicious takedown.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like when my buddies used to get mad, they never said like, "You want an appraisal of yourself?" I'd be like, "What the fuck are you even talking about, bitch?"
Yeah. What are you, Mel Gibson? Who is this? Hey, Mel, just say this thing to my friend.
That'd be cool. I used to see him at the gym. He was getting,
You would see Mel Gibson at the gym?
yeah, the Equinox on Sepulveda. He was
Really?
getting jacked for Expendables.
I was like, where are you working out? The basement of a super church?
yeah, dude.
Just hanging?
Dude,
just
Christians
hanging off
work
the
out though, dude. Christians
Oh,
are strong.
Of course they do.
Like every top CrossFitter has a cross in their
Really?
profile. Yeah, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
Mel
Because
Gibson.
they feel destined to fucking crush those chippers.
Right. And they can just like talk to God when they're like in that zone of like hallucinating between fucking burpees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got someone backing them up. They got an extra coach on the mat.
Yeah. Not me. I do it on my own. I don't need them.
Dude, you gave me some tips. I put up a little video of me doing toes to bar for the first time, and
Yeah.
you gave me some
From way back?
way back. It's probably
Yeah,
a year
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
You gave me some good advice on it, man.
About bowing out?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you can use the energy to kind of
To
get
kip
throw it
up
back.
a little
Yeah,
bit better. Yeah, it helped a lot. Those things are great.
you're welcome.
Do you still do CrossFit?
I don't do CrossFit. Just the pandemic, I just pieced out from the gym and kind of built something in my garage.
What do you got? What's your setup?
Well, so last time we were together, you said you had an assault bike, which I was like, you're a fucking maniac.
Did you get one?
So my wife, who's a runner, she's a marathoner. She's pretty serious. Between like the pandemic, I know you can run outside, but like in California, there's hella fires. There's smoke outside. Sometimes it's just you can't go outside, right? And then rain in the winter, blah, blah, blah. I got her an assault runner. And they were doing a promotion where if you buy an assault runner, which is quite expensive, they were coming out with a new assault bike.
Right.
And they were just like, you get a free OG assault bike.
Wow.
So I was like, let's fucking do this. It's the worst. It's the worst.
You don't like it?
It's. I mean, no. It is the best, but it is the.
It destroys you. I mean,
You can't. There's no other anything that spikes your heart rate like an assault bike.
what's the assault runner? How does that work?
The assault runner is just one of those bowed self.
Oh right, yeah, those are tough.
Those treadmills?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Those look
you
cool.
you
Yeah.
get up to like if you it's hard to stop, you know, so you get up
Yes.
to like 13 miles.
Oh, so
per
those
hour.
are
Yeah.
self-propelled, those ones?
Yeah, so it bows so that you're kind of there's a little bit of an incline. So when you step on it, it moves the belt down just because of gravity. So if you keep going
You're kicking
and
that thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's mostly for sprint workouts. But you could do several miles on there.
They're super loud. I there's one at my gym, and whenever I hop on it, it like makes the walls vibrate.
But you love it. You're
dude,
like, I'm here.
I love
really,
an ostentatious workout.
dude, you really dominate. I mean, everyone's looking at you. You
Dude,
know,
like-
like Tom Cruise on there.
Muscle ups are like a clean and jerk. When you're
Yeah.
like at a regular gym, everyone's just like, you know, everyone thinks you're just an asshole. But I also think there's a little, because I have the same reaction when I see someone doing something extravagant. But then there's also a little part in the back of your head where you're like, but I do respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love like gym fuckery on Instagram where you just see like insane shit and also like the dumbest shit. But my main favorite thing from the pandemic was I got a rowing machine, an ergata.
Dude, I use my friends. I go over his every day. I go, dude, you want to hang out?
You do ergata or you do a rower?
I do the ergata.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got it's like a Peloton style.
Yeah.
I did 40 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
Those instructors are awesome. They're on like the
Wait,
Potomac.
different because the
Different?
ergata's just
It's the wood
gamification.
one.
Yeah, it's the wood
Nah,
one.
Never mind. Yes, it's a
I
different
don't
one.
like people like because my wife has a Peloton or we have a Peloton. I've used it. I don't love instructors. The vibe. I actually did like a spoof on Adult Swim of them because it's just like it's always TMI with the exception of Hannah Frankson. Shout out. You're a lot of fun to watch and spin to. Everybody else, I'm just like I don't want to know
Too many
about.
anecdotes.
Yeah, the anecdotes are too much. So this is just gamification, which is a new word. But it's just like it keeps you in
Hell
certain
yeah.
zones, and you can go. I remember getting it and being like, okay, I've rode for 5 minutes before at a CrossFit workout. I've never rode more, or I guess 10 minutes or whatever. But yeah, I've rode for like an hour and a half before, you know, and done like almost like I've done like a 20K.
Dude,
Wow.
rowing engages 85% of your muscles.
That's what they say.
What exercise? The only exercise I think that's even close is like a clean and jerk. Yeah.
Swimming.
Swimming, yeah.
Swimming.
Good
I'm
call,
doing
dude.
that too.
Dude, I can't get the technique right, so I never became like
Of swimming,
of rowing
of rowing.
because every time I would do it in front of my brothers, they're like, "You're not using your legs," and I don't. Are you able to do that?
Well, I'll put this out there for ergata because you guys got to know this. The water rower ergonomics, it's just not great because your feet are too close together because the stirrups are between these two rails
Right.
and they're too high.
Yeah, you want a little bit wider. You
I
want to be
want a
about
little bit-
shoulder width.
Exactly. I want to be wider, which they have on a different water rower. So ergata, if you're like married to water rower, get it on that different one, please. But the feet are still too high, so you can't really get ahead of it. But like,
You don't get that nice press.
right. But on the one you're talking about, probably the hydro,
Mm-hmm.
stirrups are far apart.
It's
they're
nice.
low. And as long as you just, it's like, it's just So anyway, I was just saying, like on the ergotta, you don't really get to utilize your legs as much just because of the way that it makes your body perform. But yeah, you press with your legs,
You got
back,
some calves on
arms.
you, though, dude.
What? I'm just kidding. But
I
yeah,
didn't even realize why you said what at first.
legs, back, arms, and then you just do the opposite on the way. So you're not doing your legs first and going up and over your knees, you know?
Right.
But I love rowing. I'll just throw on like my podcast. I'm just kidding. I'll just throw on like a podcast. Or maybe I will throw on This Is Important with Blake Adam and myself, Kyle Quick.
Let's go.
I had to shout out. Give
I
it a
listen to
listen.
our own podcast once in a while.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pube, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean. Dude, let's talk about a highlight of 2021. My highlight was the first time that I used the Lawnmower 4.0 for my pubes because they have a sick LED spotlight. You're not going to nick your nuts. And it just made me feel really proud of myself for taking such good care of my pubes and doing so with the best brand in the world, Manscaped. So that's my highlight of 2021. And for 2022, I want to have more moments like that. And I'm going to have more moments like that because I'm on the Manscaped train. And you guys should get on the Manscaped train too. 2022 is on its way. And the last thing you want is to be the guy with pubes getting in your way of making this year your best yet. 2021 sucked. And that's why Manscaped is making a splash and upping your grooming game. Their signature Lawnmower 4.0 is here to take down every pube in its path. They engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. They got the 4th generation trimmer. It features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It's even waterproof. Also, we got refined cologne so you can smell good, look good, and feel good. The Manscaped Refined Cologne, as well as their ultra premium body wash. These are 3 things that you got to have in your repertoire. Body wash, cologne, and the Lawnmower 4.0. And you're going to be a brand new dude with great pubes, smelling fresh. Use the code GODEEP for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. I'm all in on confidence to smell good this year. Join me with Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code GODEEP. Happy New Year to your balls. We are also brought to you by the legends at Athletic Greens. What up, Athletic Greens? Very stoked on this sponsor. I love health. This is basically the all-in-one health package. If you guys want to up your nutrition with an easy, affordable green juice, hit up Athletic Greens. Get their stuff. I drink it every day. I feel great. I think it makes me look better, not to be, whatever. And it gives me a glow and also just gives me that stoke boost you get from being super nutritious. Optimizes my health for sure. And I take it every morning. It's so what is it? It's one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens. You're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day off right. And it supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All the things. Lifestyle friendly, keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff because you're covered in that regard. Contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, and it really tastes excellent. Helps with sleep, supports better sleep quality and recovery, and it costs you less than $3 a day. So you're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew, and it's giving you all the supplements that you need, all in one nutrition. It has over 7,000 5-star reviews. And it's just the best, guys. So get on the Athletic Greens train. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/GODEEP. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/GODEEP to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. What up? Back to the show.
It's funny on the rower. I probably think it's funnier than most people do. But I'll throw it on because I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
Right? Yeah, I'm the same way. And then I'll be laughing, which engages the abs when I'm supposed to be engaging my back.
Functional.
And then it like throws everything off, and I'm like, please don't pull anything. You're old. But yeah, I like a good row. You know. But yeah, and then I got some. I've had Bowflex Selectex.
Yeah.
For like 15 years.
Is that the dumbbells?
The dumbbells that you just go and
Yeah,
it just can go from like
still work?
5 to 55. Still work.
That's awesome.
I got, you know what? This is how bad I am with money. I got my Christmas bonus of cash when I was a writer's assistant on the show Bones in like 2005. And
just dialing up some dialogue for Boreanaz.
Huh?
Dialing up some dialogue for Boreanaz.
Exactly. And Boreanaz.
Damn.
Yeah, it's all good because I didn't understand the first time because you just mispronounced David Boreanaz's name.
It's a tough one though.
It is tough.
There's a lot of nuance.
TV icon. He just has no failures.
Yeah.
He's on
Beast.
US
SEAL
SEALs
team now. Yeah, it's
something.
just killing it.
And then he was on Buffy and Angel.
The dude does not fail.
He might be Julia Louis-Dreyfus of the dudes.
It's crazy.
Nice.
I don't think not that he needs more credit or whatever, but like he's like the Hasselhoff of his era. Like just hits.
They kind of look similar.
Just hits. Yeah, it's that
Their
TV
heads
look.
are the same size.
Yeah. But so the writers, they all like pull together the cash. They come in, they go, hey man, here's like $300 because we underpay you. You're so poor and you're going to have to go on unemployment over the holidays. Here's some money. And I went straight to a store that was called Sport Mart that existed back then.
Love that place. Nothing better than going to a sports
before
store.
Dick's just took everything over. And I bought the Selectex, just like money in hand, out of the hand. And they're the best.
I'm a big fan of those impulse buys. I've been doing that with sweaters lately.
Yeah.
I did the assault bike sweaters.
This sweater?
Yeah, dude. What do you think?
I love it. I love how it
Some
kind of
drip?
hangs.
Yeah, I'm a big. Because I like sweaters, but I don't like sweaters that fit well. I sort of like the where it's a little bit bigger, where people are like, I don't know. I think it gives off some. It sends a message. I think.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't wear a sweater that's too tight because then it's just from like my shoulder to my lat.
Yeah.
It's like too form fitting and it's weird.
And I mean, even that, you got your delts are popping.
No, I
Even
actually
in that.
stuffed a bunch of socks in here before because I knew
Really?
you guys were like serious about this shit.
Dude,
We're pretty serious. Do you remember the first time you tried on, like, when you saw the Under Armour commercials and you were like, that's the coolest commercial I've ever seen. These guys are the coolest guys I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I need to wear. And then the first time you tried on the shirt and realized it didn't look good on your body.
Yeah,
My stomach was just like, I wasn't even out of shape, but my stomach was just pouching too much and my chest wasn't big enough. And I was just like,
let me tell you.
God damn it, dude.
You're doing sprints up the stairs at the stadium.
Yeah, I was just so disappointed, bro.
Under Armour dropped, like came out when I was in college.
Right.
Okay. And I was on the swim team and I was in the greatest shape of my life. And we worked out at the University of Wisconsin in the same weight room as the basketball team and the hockey team. And when you are an athlete at a college, you get all this fucking free gear. And Under Armour came out and it was like compression. It was like science at this point. It's nothing. But
Just looks cool.
we are all throwing on our like Under Armour and we're like shredded, but we're so skinny.
Yeah.
Right. We're so thin just because you're doing miles. And then we're in there like next to the hockey guys who are squatting and they're just like barrel chested, jacked guys. And like the basketball team is just like legit filling it out. And like it's hanging off of us. Do you know what I mean? Like we're as big as like as tall as the shirt would be for a large, but then it just like dangles off of us like fucking coat hangers. And the weight room guy was like, don't wear it in here, okay? You guys look bad.
You're throwing off the vibe.
Yeah,
dude.
he was a funny dude. He was just, shout out to Scott. He was a hilarious dude.
Those guys are always cool, right?
He was he doesn't work there anymore. hilarious guy. But like if you're squatting, he would always get behind you and be like, "Come on, just like in the jailhouse now.
Yeah.
Just stick it out, just like in the jailhouse." And you'd be like cracking up hysterically.
Yeah.
But he was just a funny dude.
Did it help you get those reps?
It helped me want to go to the gym because I'm like, it's a good time in here. We're having laughs. There's pain. There's a good time.
I
you
enjoy
say
working out with
there's
someone. I like working out by myself sometimes, but sometimes I got to be with a crew when I'm working out. I need like 4 bros in there with me.
Yeah, that 4 other or like a group of 4.
At least 4 others.
Here's the thing with a group is you either get too chatty, you know, or like
Too competitive.
you get too competitive. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Did you
though.
hear that?
Yeah.
You were like a fucking like a cool New Orleans fucking football.
That ain't far from me, brother.
Yeah.
No, dude, I've been there because like during COVID, the only time me and my friends could hang out was we'd work out outside, and we were just stacking weight on there, and then all of us got injured, but we just kept pushing
Yeah,
through.
you can't. Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing hot yoga lately,
Right.
and I love it because it's me and just I'm like the only dude in there,
Yeah.
and
Good race.
it's such great energy. Yeah, I'm starting to get to know them, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care about it's like they're just
That
like
was fun.
there's like, hey Chad, how's it going?
Right.
I'm like, hey, what's up, ladies? Let's stretch. You know,
Right.
I don't know. There's something.
It's nice that they all. I like working out in a room with all the ladies too. Like when I
Yeah.
do Pilates, because then
Yeah.
it's nice when they all trust you and you're like, I'm a good guy.
How's Pilates?
Yeah.
Dude, it's awesome. When I take it seriously and I do it seriously, you know, if you're weightlifting or doing like CrossFit stuff, you know, your shoulders and your back get all out of whack. Pilates it's all centered on that
Yeah.
part of the body. And I was shocked to find out that the starter of it was a German guy, Joseph Pilates.
Named. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I did
Because
not
you're
see
like
that coming.
Pilates seems like some like
A
a
yoga
name that
spin-off.
somebody invented maybe.
Right.
But it's just a dude.
Just some dude, Joe Pilates.
Right. And no one knew how to pronounce it until he's like, you know what? I'm going to invent something and I'm going to name it after me. And then everyone's going to know.
Put his mark on it.
Yeah.
Gave them no choice.
I got to do more yoga because like it is, if you're like rigorous at running or lifting or whatever, to just hit reset once a week
Mm-hmm.
and open up the hips or whatever,
Yeah.
you'll live longer.
It's pretty yeah. I got into it in April, and I would do it here and there. I never really started doing it regularly, but yeah. But I would go really intense on the sprints, and then my legs would get all fucked up, and then my back kept locking up.
Right.
And I just started doing it, and then I think I think it's one of the tougher things to do consistently until you build it as a habit.
Right.
But then once it's like a habit, it's very you just feel much better.
Right. Because it's hard to see the benefits at first. You're like, why am I here?
Yeah.
This is fucking lame. I'm just, and
Yeah.
it's not easy. And so like you don't. I've done it a little bit back in the day. I would do like a spinning / yoga thing.
Right.
Where like you go crazy on spin and then you just go right into a yoga class and kind of open things up.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but at the same time I was like looking for the benefits.
Yeah.
And they come a little bit later.
Yeah, and as a dude, you sort of want to do workouts where you're sort of like lifting weight or you're like running
Right.
fast. Yeah, you're really sort of like
And
attacking
the
it.
aesthetic
Yeah.
improvement because yoga, you're not really gonna see it unless you're like
No.
really killing it and fucking.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You see some of the guys who are like the experts at yoga.
Not that
that,
jacked.
you know, they got the top knot and they're just kind of like, they kind of got dad bods.
Right.
And
They
you're
look like they could get worked in any kind of scrap.
dude, yeah. But they do have good energy.
But yeah, maybe they know how to avoid the scrap.
Would
because
you
they're just
rather
like-
have good energy
Yeah.
than like look amazing and be? Would you rather look haggard and have good energy on the inside, or
Oh,
look
man.
amazing and just kind of still have not just be fucked up?
That's a good question. You know, I think back when I was, you know, probably like 20, I would have said look great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now that I'm, you know, maturing, I think I'm going to go for energy.
You know
'Cause
what's cool,
Yeah.
and I don't know this about you,
Yeah.
but when you come up to 40, you go right back.
Oh, for real?
You want to be ripped and fucked up.
Dude, hell yeah.
You're like, yeah, I've been happy for 10 years. But
Didn't really-
this
didn't really.
this
do
has
it for
got to
me.
go.
Yeah.
I'd rather be miserable and jacked,
I think you're right.
you know,
That's
just like
maturity.
digging your nails into your fucking leg at a Jack in the Box or something and hating yourself,
Just upset.
and then just going and doing sprints on the assault runner to like run off the
Yeah.
tacos.
Dude, that's pretty huge. I mean, you know, yeah,
Yeah.
you're making me reassess. I don't know.
So wait, so did you guys, because this is something that I was, I'm going to say I was an athlete. I swam, it's different. But it was so much part of a thing that I just kind of am like, I exercise because I don't love exercise. I just did it too much, right? As part of like my identity. But now I'm getting back into it. I enjoy it. Were you guys athletes who were trying to like hang on and maintain because you just enjoy that? It was part of your lives? Or did you come to this later and you're like, well, let me fucking try stuff?
For me, it was later. I swam in high school. I played water polo.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, I wasn't very good. And I like surfing a lot. And that was like,
Yeah.
when I started surfing a lot, that's when I sort of was starting to get in shape. You know, high school and college, it was all about the party for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really start working out until like senior year.
Right.
And I was always just maintained kind of the same shape, but like I would just focus on partying.
Because you're a thin guy.
Yeah, I've always been.
He's ripped.
You're an ectomorph.
Dude. Again, are you for real right now?
Yeah.
Dude, thank
Do you know about this?
Yeah, mesomorph and endomorph and ectomorph. Is
Yeah.
that the three?
Yeah.
I'm endo.
you. Is that the middle one?
Little paunchy fella.
It's not that it's middle. It's your body shape.
She's
right?
your height, bro.
Right.
So like an ectomorph is just kind of straight up and down, very thin. It's hard to put on weight.
Yeah.
A mesomorph is more
Jacked.
V. Well, you're not jacked, but you.
But when you look at the three of them, you're
Yes.
like, that's the jacked
Right.
guy.
You're more V-shaped, top heavy, and then endomorph is more pear-shaped,
Right.
lower body is like.
Haunches.
Yeah, but also those are like your running backs with those big fucking legs.
That's all in
Right.
the ass. Power. My buddy Joe Pelazone, big ass. He
Yeah.
can lay the hit. We go golfing. He's bombing 300-yard drives. You're
Yeah.
like,
For real.
He's got ass power.
A lot of
dude.
core.
Dude.
A lot of ass power.
I joke. I used to live in Silver Lake, and I would just look around, and I just felt like I was the only East Side mesomorph.
Bro,
Right.
can we talk about that?
Sure.
I can't live in that part of town because I don't want
Your
to be
body
a dick.
type.
When I walk around, I'm like, it's too many wispy dudes.
Right.
I'm like, I grew up in Orange County. I grew up with jacked bros everywhere. That's my baseline.
But you also got to respect that that's where they are.
That's their part of
That's
town.
their part
I gotta
of town.
And I do. When I'm in someone else's house, I play by their rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't try to bring in, I'm not going up to guys being like, bro, maybe some heavy deadlifts. I don't do that.
Right.
I start talking about the new Sally Rooney book, and I'm
Right,
like,
right.
let's chop it up.
Right.
But for me, if I'm going to live somewhere, I need meatheads around.
It's tough. I mean, I felt isolated. You're at Burgers Never Say Die. You're getting 2 burgers. You're looking around. Everyone else is getting one, and they just don't wear it the same way you do, in your chest maybe, and
You're wondering, are they thinking about you ordering those 2 burgers?
Well, you know they are.
You know they are.
You know they are.
But do they? I often find, though, that they do respect it. If you come at it with the right energy and you're deferential and diplomatic,
Yeah.
they will respect that you are that guy.
But what's interesting is that I only found that when I would go to my CrossFit gym, which was more of like it wasn't a strictly CrossFit gym. It was more of like a running with CrossFit kind of thing. And and it was on the east side, and you'd meet these ectomorphs. And they had interest in athletics, which is what I just feel like I was predisposed to growing up. And now they're coming around to it. And I go, yeah, it's not, the water's fine.
Yeah.
I'm friendly with Kumail, Neon Johnny, right? And I remember getting breakfast with him a few years ago, and he was like, so what are you eating? And I'm like, I just eat whatever, and then I just work out. And he hadn't really hit the gym yet.
Mm-hmm.
And what I didn't realize is that there was a mesomorph in there, man.
Right.
And that he was kind of getting data.
And he was he was like, so like, what do you do? Do you work out? And now I gotta hit him up for some notes,
Dude, his delts are pretty out of this world.
He might be the
crazy.
most jacked actor alive right now.
Yeah.
So obviously this is what we think about, right?
Sometimes.
We're in a new era. I think you guys are funny. I think you guys are funny guys,
Dude, thank you.
but it's not enough anymore.
You gotta be jacked.
You have to be, right? If you want to work, you got to be jacked.
People got to like looking at, dude, Are you big into like film criticism?
Sure.
You know John Simon? Do you remember him?
No.
He's pretty hilarious. He was like a super learned dude. He wrote for one of like the New York publications, but he would always criticize.
So he's a film critic.
Film critic.
Okay,
right.
sorry.
But in his reviews, it would always.
I meant
crack me
like
up.
I like to criticize film. That's how much I'm into film criticism.
Okay.
Yeah, but go ahead. He's a film critic.
He's a film critic,
Yeah.
but he says like he would criticize the looks of the actors in the movie, and he would
Sure.
be like, "I didn't like the third lead. It wasn't nice looking at him.
Yeah,
Like they should have recast him with it." And he was a really smart guy.
but that's true.
But I think he did understand, and I didn't understand at the time because I was like super into artsy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, who cares, man? It's just like, can the guy like embody the part? But then as I've gotten older, I'm like, it is nice to like, it's aspirational. You kind of do
Right.
want everyone to be like,
Yeah, yeah. But it's interesting because, like, you know, and I blame Chris Pratt, who was like, you know, kind of tubby. That was kind of how he
charming that way.
exactly. He got his way in, charming us with his tubbiness. Like, oh, this guy is a nice guy. Then he got shredded, and then everyone else was like, oh, well, you gotta get shredded too.
Do you think? But do you worry in the process of the shred, some of the charm can dissipate?
Of course it does. Of course it does. It's gone. Because then you start thinking about
I mean, what the fuck, man?
you start, because look at us. We're just talking about the gym right now. It's not funny. It's not funny to me.
Right.
Do you see me laughing?
No, no, I see. You're
It's not
serious.
funny. And by the way, when I started hitting the gym as a junior in high school, like lifting weights, this coach who I was hitting the gym with, because I wanted to fucking get into a college because I was a dumbass and I needed to put on some weight and drop some time, we would be clowning around in the gym and he'd go, you can't fucking joke around in here because you've got, you know, 150 pounds over your chest. And like, if you're joking and like
That's not that much.
your buddy drops that on his chest, like he could get hurt. This is a place where we're serious, right? And then when you get your control and your focus, then you can go from there. So like these people who are working, who were funny, all of them are funny. I'm not going to take that away from them. You can't. But when you start obsessing with your body and hitting the gym, that shit's not funny at all.
Right. Yeah. I'd say I much prefer the Harrison Ford, Bruce Willis bodies of the 80s.
Could we talk about when Harrison Ford takes his shirt off in The Fugitive?
I
don't
can't remember that
but tell us
specifically.
about
So
it.
he just had been he just avoided getting hit by the train after the bus flipped over. He's running with the shackles. He's in the hospital. He sneaks into a hospital before he takes the job as a janitor. And he takes his jacket off and he's got this gouge, kind of like he got like shrapnel or something like that. But he's got this body that is the only body that you want.
Right.
Which is like, it's not fat, but it's not bulbous and ripped. It's just a guy who's clearly capable.
and has an
Nice
active
tone.
lifestyle.
Nice tone.
The tone is there, but it sends more of a message where it's like, this guy's going to be fine,
Yeah.
no matter what the situation.
George Clooney and Out of Sight, similar.
Right.
Takes his shirt off. You're like, he's not shredded.
Right.
Not extra muscles on the delts.
Right.
You're just like, oh, this is just an in-shape guy.
Right.
He's born with good stock.
If there's
and
a
he takes care of
fire,
it.
he can carry somebody. If there's an earthquake, he can get out of the building
Right.
like that.
That's
He's not
huge.
going to pull anything.
But
Yeah.
it seems like maybe for Kumail, it was either be like a comedian schlub or ultra jacked. Is it hard to hit that nice middle ground?
Well, I like to think so, and we talk about this on our podcast. This is important, but in the writers' room of Workaholics, we put up this list on the whiteboard of, and I feel like maybe we touched on this last time.
And
I
it's
was here.
kind of legendary. I think it gets referenced in every writer's room that you guys did that.
Okay. Well, so wait, but this is not the jokes we don't say anymore.
Oh,
thing.
okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Which, anyway.
Wait, what was
One
that?
of our writers just put it out there, and we were like, "Oh, okay." Shout out John Quaintance. We love you.
That got kind of memeified.
It got memeified,
That
and there
took
was
on
like
a
a
life of
New
its own.
Yorker like spoof on it. How it's like, this is also what you're not allowed to say. Like, because yes, you can say anything in comedy, but that thing was
New
just
Yorker said
basically
that?
the New Yorker. Some guy did a thing that was like a spoof on jokes you're not allowed to say, because obviously in comedy you can say anything. But what
He's acting like they got a bunch of edgelords over at the New Yorker.
I don't know, man.
Bro, do you
I
want to
love the
drive
New
over
Yorker.
there?
Shout out.
Do you want to drive over there?
It's over. This is years ago. The fact that I'm talking about it is hilarious. But that list was like, hey, maybe don't put these in your script because these are once funny, once hilarious. I threw up in my mouth a little bit. That's not your joke, though. You know, that belongs to Dodgeball. And it was super funny, and people said it for a very long time. But, like, that's a placeholder for you not coming up with a joke. Not that every joke we came up with on the show was, like, 100% original or that you've never heard before. But, like, there's just a list of 40 or so jokes that, like, you know, my mom says. And that means we shouldn't be paying you to put that in the script.
Yeah.
Anyway, this other list was the list of the hottest funny guys and the funniest hot guys. Right?
Interesting.
And who is what. And I don't have my phone on me right now out of respect for your podcast. But, you know, it's like you've got Paul Rudd. Is he a funny hot guy or is he a hot funny guy?
Funny hot guy.
You think he's a funny hot guy?
I think he's a funny hot guy.
I think
he
he's
could
a hot funny guy.
I think he can go
Whoa,
either way.
really?
I think he can go either way. I think John Hamm,
So
hot funny guy.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd.
Here's my hilarious thing on John Hamm. It's hilarious to me. Fuck you guys. I was like, I got a weird sneaking suspicion that John Hamm, he blossomed late. He might have been like a weird like theater guy who kind of like came into his own late, right? And then we Google his high school yearbook picture, and he's this like smiling Adonis in football pads.
Smoke
Really?
I don't know if you guys do this or have the capabilities to like put up that photo now.
We can.
But
We
if
can
you
do it.
Google it at home or whatever, it is hilariously handsome.
Amazing.
He's just like this blessed young man.
Yeah.
And I was like, I stand corrected. He is definitely a funny hot guy. And then like our crossover that we just couldn't figure out was Justin Theroux.
I think hot funny
Hot
guy.
funny guy. He's
Yeah.
just too hot.
But he's
Charlie's
so,
Angels too.
He's so funny though.
He said he got that
Yeah.
body in Charlie's Angels too. I read this in People magazine just by doing an ab roller. I was like, bro, get the fuck out.
You mean
dude.
like
Wow.
out like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a buddy who does just that.
Is he?
He runs too, but he just does that and runs. And
He's cut.
He's
Yeah,
that cut? Dude,
yeah.
okay, maybe. Maybe the ab roller's all you need.
I mean, he's got the usher muscles here.
The V. We call him Rick Wilson. This guy in high school had him named Rick Wilson.
Have you guys ever heard this? Cum gutters?
No, dude, that's a good one though.
You've heard it?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, cum gutters is what I've heard them
Come
say.
on.
But Paul Rudd though, he's got boyish. He's boyishly cute. I think.
For sure. And obviously he was sexiest man alive this year
Which is
for
bullshit,
People
though.
magazine.
But yeah, wasn't
Sorry.
that kind of like a?
They're throwing...
That was like a. Everyone loves Paul Rudd. Let's
Well, we're in a new
Post
era.
Me too. It's like we got to have guys that everyone trusts. Like we
Right,
can't have like
right.
a bad boy on there.
There's no bad boys.
But bad boys in my mind are sexier. But they're just, you know, they got to be out of favor for a while for good reason. But so now we're doing John Legend and like Paul Rudd and like these dudes have been
Right.
married for like 30 years.
yeah. And the definition of sexy has changed, right?
Right.
You call them cute kind of boy next door. That might be what sexy is now. Sexy
Yeah,
is
it's
no
sexy now.
longer like, hey, get on the back of my motorcycle. I don't have a helmet. You won't need one, right? That's dangerous. That's
Not sexy anymore?
because that shows that you don't care about
What if you're on
somebody.
vacation in Panama?
Look, man, I don't want to judge anybody, Panamanians, Panamaniacs.
So you're saying Mark McGrath's not sexy anymore?
Look, Mark McGrath has one of the funniest moments in music video history.
Yeah.
And he was on Workaholics, and I had to tell him, do you already know what it is?
No, go ahead.
When they did the music video where it was like everyone's imagination of what the music video should be, and they're having a brainstorm, and it goes like to all these wacky different places
that
for each
Someday?
person. I think so. Every morning, I think.
Every morning.
Yeah, it's that
there's a
one.
halo.
And then he's like, all right, you know what? Can we just do what's right for the video? And then everyone's like, yeah, for sure. And he goes, you know what I mean? And everybody laughed. And when I saw that in college, I was like, this guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then guested on Workaholics and was like, can I do this, say this? And he had all his suggestions were gold.
Really?
So sexy to me. And we were like, would you wear sweater vest, no sleeves? And he was like, for sure.
That's awesome.
So like, I feel like sexy is now like a guy who's willing to roll with it. who doesn't have like any he's not
Ego
judging
in the
no
situation.
ego.
Yeah.
That's the new sexy thing, is no ego.
Yeah, going back to Mark McGrath, there's a great article about how he was like, I'm the last douche. Did you see that?
He might. No, I didn't see that.
He's like, I'm proud to say, kind of sad to say that I'm the last douche. And I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I was really proud of him for the article, but
here's what I know what he's dealing with, right? I play a lot of douchebags on shows, and maybe I am a little bit of a douchebag in real life. But I do have this essence that people are like, yeah, will you be that guy in this show or this movie? And I go, yeah, okay, for sure. I get it. And, you know, he had that SoCal look. His band was more fun than artistic, right? He's out there just having a good time. Maybe people sense that he didn't value music as anything more than a way to get famous. Then he becomes like this guy in Entertainment Tonight, and people kind of judge him for that.
Mm-hmm.
To which I say, it's just a guy trying to make a living being known.
Right.
And he's charming. He's a DJ now on Sirius. I like his presence on there. I think he's fun. And he might have looked like this kind of douchebag guy because he had no sleeves on. He's got the spiky frosted tips. But he was just a young guy having a good time.
Right.
You know? And he might have been the poster child for something that he outgrew. And now he's recognizing that. And for that, he is now sexy.
Dude, totally agree.
Because the ego's gone.
Right.
Maybe 20, 40 years ago, maybe 20, 25 years ago, being called Sugar Ray, I think it used to bother him, right? Didn't he fight somebody who was like, oh, Sugar Ray?
No, they said Sugar Gay.
Right, they said Sugar Gay.
And he
which you
snapped.
have to admit is a hilarious play on words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to call somebody gay as an insult, not okay. But that person who said it, they're probably the funniest person out of their friend group that talks like that.
And in the moment, like, he was just trying to get to Mark McGrath, and had he said something that was like more clever and mature,
right,
it wouldn't have generated the reaction of Mark. And also, I don't think Mark McGrath snapped because someone called him gay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he honestly cares that much about that. I think it was that he'd probably heard that joke a million times. He was having a hard day.
Yeah.
And he knew this kid was trying to get a reaction for him. And he's like, well, I'm going to give him double the reaction and put him on his heels.
Nice.
And then he went after the kid.
McGrath gets it.
And he just looked at him dead in the eyes, and he said in a sincere voice, did you say Sugar Gay?
Yeah.
He said, who said Sugar Gay?
So I think I'm here because I ran into you at a basketball game. Or you had seen me and I didn't see you.
Dude, I was leaving the Clippers game. I forget who they even played. They got the dub.
It was Phoenix.
Right, it was Phoenix. Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah.
And then Phoenix was down a couple of their studs. Like Ayton didn't play and Booker didn't play.
Booker did not play.
But we had CP3 out there.
Yeah, that was fun.
Back in his building.
Yeah.
Not
And
quite
we
his
didn't have
building.
Kawhi, so it was a fun mixed bag.
Yeah, that guy doesn't like to play ball that much. And then
But I saw Mark McGrath at a Clippers game. Maybe it was a Lakers game one day. He had great seats. I had great seats through something or whatever. And I was like, yo, Mark. And he turns, he goes, hey, da-da-da. And I was like, how you doing, man? He goes, isn't life the best? Look at us, man.
whoa.
No, dude.
So grateful. And he's like, these seats crazy, right? And I go, yeah. He was
legend.
so appreciative that it caught me off guard. Because sometimes when you get good seats, you try and be cool. You try and be like, you try and act like you belong there, right? Even though I don't go to many games. So I'm a little off on guard when I get there, and I don't want to seem like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And he was like, it's the best, right?
Dude. Honestly, I never expected such an in-depth analysis of Mark McGrath on this episode, but it has fired me up.
Good dude, solid guy.
Sugar Gay.
Sugar Gay. I mean, shouldn't that be his like license plate now?
That would be pretty
Like just fully embrace it, or just a belly tat. Sugar Gay.
Yeah, dude.
And he's like, I can say it.
Dan
It's
Cook,
that kind of thing.
Have you seen Dan Cook's license plate?
No,
Do you know what it is?
I don't.
Mic drop.
Was he? But yeah, I was like, was he the first to do it? Definitely not. But again, here.
I mean,
Let's
he's
go
a
down.
Huge, he's like a huge douchebag, though, right?
Let's go down douchebag row. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do the final judgment on
By the
all
way-
these guys.
Fruit smash, smashed.
If you want one more, dude.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Alright, copy
I
that.
gotta drive home in the rain.
Yeah,
Um,
smart.
Dane Cook. We did an episode on workaholics, and let's just talk about workaholics the whole time. Where we went to kind of this what's the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Wall Street movie?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. Thank you. We did this like Wolf of Wall Street episode where the guys get wind of this other branch that's like kind of cutthroat and like this bro mentality that's like, let's fucking go. Let's make a bunch of money. So we leave TeleMericorp to go there. We slick back our hair. We put on these power suits and we cast Dane Cook as the guy who runs this branch because perfect casting for everyone who's ever been like, he's a douchebag. We even got like flack for it, not slack, like when your dick is long, but flack on like AV Club or whatever, because they're like, of course, Dane Cook. And it's like, yeah, of course, Dane Cook is the one who everyone has called the douchebag. So we cast him as this guy who's playing a douchebag. And Dane was great. He played the role. He knew his lines. He didn't come in. Because to me, a douchebag is somebody who shows up and doesn't give a fuck and thinks they're great.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not saying he's never done that. I'm not saying I've never done that. Right? But like he came in, knew his lines, was great. He definitely drove a Ferrari one day and a Lamborghini the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can take from that what you will. But he also got us 2 food trucks.
Dude.
For crew,
For crew. And like,
he's a man of the people.
look, this is a guy who's got $1 zillion. He could have gotten 20 food trucks. But a lot of people show up on the show who have $1 zillion who don't get any food trucks. This guy got 2. And is he overcompensating? I don't fucking care. My crew was eating good 2 days in a row. My takeaway from that was like, good guy, good experience then and there. And maybe he's done more of that other places to change people's minds.
What were the
I don't
food
know.
trucks?
Honestly, I can't remember. I'd like to say tacos.
Nice.
Dude, that seems to be the case with a lot of the guys who are sort of branded as douchebags back in the days.
Right.
A lot of times, they are just nice dudes, or they're like reformed. They're like, okay, that was my brand.
Yeah.
I gotta take a deep look inside, and oftentimes it's like the guys who are super nice. I don't really know from experience. I just like heard the guys who are like super nice on like that's their persona.
Right.
They're the biggest douchebags.
Oh my God.
For
That's
real.
my least favorite person. The person who shows up and thinks because they have a good memory
Yeah.
and can remember everyone's names lets them kind of be, and they're good at it. They've done it their whole lives. They come in and they're nice, but they're also secretly demanding.
Right.
And they make people do things that might be like out of their jurisdiction, like where it's like, oh, would you actually go grab me a thing? And they're like, well, they're so nice. They've been so nice. They said my name.
Right.
They remember my name and the story I told them about my dog, that I feel like I got to go do that thing that I really shouldn't have to do because of my job or whatever. Those people drive me crazy.
Right.
Yeah, because it's a superficial kindness, and there's not like a real.
It's a
connection
manipulation thing and like well, aren't I fun?
It's engineered. It's like premeditated. I got to be a
Exactly.
nice guy. This is how I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's performance.
And to that point, I don't remember anybody's name, and I never will.
Dude,
No, but like I'm so
pretty
bad with
at that.
names.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I'm almost always the nicest guy in a way that I don't want anything from anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? When people are like, because look, I'm a writer and an actor. When you're a writer, you get treated like absolute dog shit. It's fucking crazy. And when you're an actor, you get treated like a fucking prince. It is insane.
Yeah.
And I'm just not big on like the pampering of the stuff that you can get into where like, I don't know. I'm low maintenance.
Right.
But the nice people are usually super high maintenance, but they know they got to be nice to excuse it.
Right.
You know,
It's interesting.
It's like they're doing the math in their head. They're like, I can ask this person to go 2 hours out of the way to get me a coffee
Right.
because I'll do it with a smile.
and I think that sometimes the math is even over, and it's like, it's just nature. They just already know. It's just their rhythm now.
They're just innately born to understand it,
Right.
or they've been conditioned to it.
No, they've discovered it, right? They've discovered that it works, and they've fine-tuned it and honed it in over.
Because humans are just opportunistic. We're like, we'll take advantage of what we can if we.
Some are, yeah.
Right.
Some are.
And John Mulaney had that great joke about Mick Jagger where he's like, people always ask, was he nice? And he's like, no, he wasn't nice, and you wouldn't be either. Like, he asked for a
Right.
Coke, and it appears in his hand.
Right.
And I mean, I worked as a PA. You see that instantly.
Yeah.
You're like, you know, you're bringing everyone's lunch, and then when you bring it to the actors on the show, you're like pulling off like lentil beans because you're like, they're like, if he eats lentil beans, he'll die. And then you find out 2 months
Right.
later, like he just doesn't like lentil beans. It's
Right.
not really that big of a deal.
Right.
But we're all treating it like it's like
Yeah.
we're like in hazmat suits, like pulling off the lentil beans. And we're like,
Yeah.
if someone brings this dude a lentil bean, we're like, you fucked up, man. Like,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
you ever do that again.
I worked for Bill Maher, right? And when I say Bill Maher, what pops into your head as far as like attitude or like vibe or whatever?
Snarky.
Smug.
Snarky, smug.
I like Bill Maher though. I love him, but smug. Smug's
Right.
the first thing that
And guess
pops.
what? He's that, right? But he's also that because that's just like he wants everyone around him to be smart. Look, I don't think he's a genius, but I think he's a smart guy who pays attention to what's going on and has takes. And
He's ballsy.
he's ballsy, but like behind the scenes, this is a guy who like promotes from within, who looks out for his writers and his team and his crew, and he might have this air about him that people are like, oh, he's probably a fucking asshole. But like, I worked for him for 2 years before Workaholics got picked up. Was always super nice. Did he know my name? I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
Does he have to know my name to be a good person? Absolutely not. But he always was like, hey, morning. And like never treating me like shit. And just, you know, he's a guy who has like high expectations because I think he just wants to be on the ball. But when I bring his name up, people are like, oh, he's the worst, right? Because I think he just has like a no nonsense thing, which a lot of people have. But I'd rather a no nonsense guy who at the end of the day is like the person who runs Real Time at one
Scott
point
Carter?
Scott Carter is one of the producers who helps run the show, and he's always been a producer. But his other partner, she was his assistant many, many, many years ago, and she was just on the ball, and he promoted her for within, and now she's been helping run that show for fucking 20 years. You know?
He's loyal to his people, and it seems like he was consistent. Like he was always the same.
So
guy.
consistent.
That's what you want from a boss a lot of the time.
That's
too.
what I want. I don't want somebody who's nice, but then like
Turns
and knows
on
my
you.
name and like can be like, hey, that one you swim, right? All right. Hey, but seriously, next time you give me this Subway or like whatever the fuck it is, don't you know?
Or they don't even say it to you. They're like, "Hey, great job! Like you're the swimmer," and then they go to like someone who has to
You
deliver
hear
the
it from
bad
somebody
news,
later, yeah.
And they're like, that guy's been fucking up a lot.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Hey, how about you just?"
I'd rather it's somebody who's like, hey, what is it? Anders. Right. Hey, this is definitely not what I ordered.
Right.
And I go, fuck. Now it's my job to go, what can I get you? And like, he's not going, hey, I need you to do like, I'm doing my job. He's doing his job. Not a mean guy. He's just like, this is fucked up. This isn't fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's cool too. Like, it makes me think. I like that Bill Maher's worked with the same team for so long, and like like I love
For
Gary.
so many people, I worked there fucking more than 10 years ago now. So many of the same people are there, and doing great jobs. And it's because he likes these people. He knows that they worked hard for him. It's a live show. It's on every week, you know, and they keep the fucking train on the rails.
Totally. And it made me think about Gary Shandling because he was, and I love Gary Shandling, but he was kind of the opposite. Like when you watch his documentary, it's like he would have a new head writer every year because he would just burn out with that person. Like,
Right.
and he had like some trust issues that were kind of like hardwired into his
Right.
soul. But
It's also a new challenge.
and maybe it created a new idea. I mean, the show was great every season, and maybe it was helped by that turnover.
Gary Shandling, I mean, he was a searcher, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think you can be with one person forever if you're a searcher like that.
Right. He needs that new.
He needs new energy.
Yeah.
And like once you, it can be a selfish thing, right? Like to be like, cool, we're hitting it off. We go to like, we play basketball every day or whatever the fuck he was doing. We're like writing jokes all the time. And then you kind of get that energy and you go, great, got it. I'm going to move on.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure he has lifelong friends and stuff, but like.
It's okay to be that person.
In LA,
too.
you see lifelong friends 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Which is like perfect for a guy like him, you know?
What are you like socially? Do you like to see your friends consistently, or are you sort of like you like to retreat and then see them here and there?
I mean, I'm a wife and kids guy because I'm a wife and kids guy.
Right.
Right. And when I wasn't, I was out way more.
Yeah.
But now that I got a family, like I'm not out all the time.
Right.
You just can't be. And you have friends, especially in LA, like people start families hella late.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you have friends who are like having their first kids at 40 and stuff, or later. So like being a guy who had a family in his 30s while meanwhile everyone's like out at fucking Largo or like doing stand up or like going to that premiere or that party or like, you got to just kind of pick and choose where you're like, hey honey, I'm going to go to this thing and definitely be sleeping till 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Right.
And is that kosher? Like, can we do that?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy who's out like 4 days a week and then your wife's like, what, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Your kids are just wondering where you're at, you know.
Largo. I'm at the Largo.
I'm at Largo building my career.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that? Did you ever do like that out every night kind of?
No, I was never a scenester, but like, that's also, I mean, I was just like, when I moved to LA, I was hanging out with a couple friends from college who were not in the business at all. So they weren't trying to meet anybody for any kind of reason of like, let's connect and like, show me your screenplay or whatever the fuck it was. They were like, let's just go out and party, you know? So I wasted years of just like going to clubs or bars and not meeting anybody of any industry consequence where I'm like, oh, this is like a good connection for me to like grow up with or whatever. Until eventually I was like, I need to kind of do like a split this.
Yeah.
Hang out with my homies who go out and drink and party for no reason. And then I started going like to Second City, and some Saturday nights I would go to like the most brutal open mic improv shit at Second City. When my boys would be like, we're out here. And I go, I'm just going to go jam with these guys and yes and.
Yeah.
You know, and then I met Adam at Second City. And so then I was like making videos and like, you know, those guys, they know all my other homies too. And we've all partied together. And I think that's why I like Adam, Blake, and Kyle, because they were like the first guys I had met who had their head on straight about
Career stuff.
careers. They were like, we want to do this. We want to make a career. We want to become movie stars or comedy writers or whatever it was. But also we're like, also we need to smoke some bud and drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they had their,
They had a good balance.
yeah, good balance as opposed to just like at UCB every night, you know, where you're like, all right, well, it's kind of insulated. Don't you want to just go out and lose your mind?
No, it's and actually one of the things that makes me, we've known each other forever, but when I see Chad, and my high school friends are the best. Like they're like the coolest dudes ever. And it's so fun to have a release where, and they're all super smart. Like they all understand comedy and have good taste and stuff, but they're not in it trying to like, you know, constantly think about their place in it and where they're headed. But when I see like Chad, like all my high school friends love you so much.
Oh really? Oh, thank you.
And when I see you guys
They're
getting
awesome.
along so well,
Give them look at the camera and
Thank you guys.
no, it just makes me so happy because I was like,
they're awesome dudes.
Yeah.
You fit in so seamlessly with all of them.
Yeah.
And it's like,
are they big personalities, your high school friends?
they can be, but they can also be super. I don't know. I'm so like, I love them so much that I might not even see them clearly, but I just think they're like, they're pretty versatile that way.
Yeah.
And then Chad's versatile that way too.
Yeah.
And then
Well, it's a similar kind of story, but like it's basically what you were saying. It's like we sort of have similar backgrounds of, you know, partying past, and like we I sort of I struggle with drinking a little bit because I just go too hard in the paint a little bit. But it's like that same thing of like you
Hey,
want.
I trust you now.
Yeah. Like we wanted to build careers, but like have that same kind of need for a release.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
that broiness.
Right.
And,
And
then you
also-
have that your squad. Like,
yeah, and just that normalcy too, like a group of people who are like not. Because I like going out with like, you know, like when I go out and there's like agents out or like, and I love all
Yeah.
those people. It's super fun and I love like all of that world.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't want to be thinking on like, you have to be operating on a couple different levels when you're in that situation.
Yeah.
And what's nice about like,
Yeah, I never do.
you don't?
No.
That's
I-
awesome.
And
though.
that's probably why I'm like Greg Odom. Because I've just been at those parties too drunk to be like,
Well, I say I'm operating
You
on a lot
know?
of different levels, but
Yeah,
if
you
you
have no
watched
idea.
me in that moment, you wouldn't be like, oh,
Right.
this guy sees
if
the
you
Matrix.
had like security cam
yeah, if
footage.
you had security, I'm just hammered like
Yeah.
being loud.
JT's locked in with industry folk right
yeah,
now.
you're not like, oh, this guy's playing chess. You're just
Yeah.
like,
You're the
that's
guy
a drunk bro
drinking and
who's
vomiting into the
dancing too
cup.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you watching right now?
But even like the next day, if I'm not locked in, and then the next day I got too hammered at one of those things, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, did I give too much information to this person?
Right.
Did I do that? And it's like, it's nice to have a just solid people around you who are like, even if you did get too drunk, they'd be like, dude, you were crazy last night, and then you just keep kicking.
Yeah.
Did you have friends in high school?
Nah, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
but did you has he met your high school friends?
It's
Yeah,
college
college
buddies.
friends.
College
I,
friends.
I went to
Yeah.
a boarding school
Oh,
in
right.
Connecticut, so
Right.
all my high school friends are like,
They killed themselves.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They're all dead,
They're all-
bro.
Did you guys robo trip?
Little virgin suicide
Dude,
situation.
That's my one homie went to
I-
boarding school was like we just robo tripped.
I had a bunch of friends who robo tripped. I never robo tripped.
What is robo trip?
Excuse me.
It's where you take a bunch of cough syrup and you
Robitussin.
Robitussin
Yeah.
and you basically just trip out. But I saw my buddy freaking out on it, so I never wanted to try it. But
Yeah.
one thing we did try to do is the spiced nutmeg.
What is that?
Because in boarding school, you have to think of, alternative ways to get fucked up. So
Right,
nutmeg is like a spice.
Yeah.
And I heard, are you familiar with this?
I think so.
Yeah. So if
We have a
you-
different engineer today, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron's
If you want to give a
Deal with
shout
it.
out,
He's cool.
Yeah.
Aaron's got COVID
just give
or
a
had
shout out.
COVID.
This is your second time on the pod.
Yeah, I'm back again.
That's some voice.
Last
Dude,
time
he
you
has
were
a
on,
great
we had Ryan
voice.
Holiday.
Joe Maurice's last show before he moved.
Oh,
right.
nice.
Real quick, can you say here? What was the line?
Fruit smash, let's smash.
Yeah.
Here's a fruit smash. Let's smash.
That was good,
That
dude.
was good.
Very cool.
You got a fucking fire voice, bro.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fire.
Are you the voice of Comedy Central?
Move over, Canadian.
Up next, Tosh.0.
So I ate a bunch of nutmeg,
Yeah.
which is just like eating a bunch of cinnamon.
Uh huh.
I got like kind of high,
Yeah.
but
But really, it's just like a sugar rush,
That
or
sounds kinda
what?
sick.
no, it's not even like sugary,
Is-
dude. It's like straight like you're eating like what are some other spices? I don't know,
Oregano?
like oregano. It's like
Yeah.
you're eating a bunch of oregano.
That's gross.
But
But he's hung out with your college.
My
no,
college
like his
And
buddy
it's
Miller.
seamless.
Like
oh, Miller's best.
he's like one of my favorite guys ever.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with that guy. We've gone to like parties together and like
yeah,
kicked it. And yeah, his friends are awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's how, like, I guess the example was my bachelor party. Like my homies from high school and college, some of them they're all together. Like we both went to high school and college together. Are like big personalities.
Yeah.
It's like we're not. Well, sometimes we are. I was gonna say like that loud table of men at steakhouses.
Yeah,
like
that's
you were
what-
talking about.
yeah.
They're like, we're gonna be the loud table, fucking. But sometimes I guess we probably are. Hence, like, douchebag. Because that is like the most douchebag thing you can be is the loudest table at a restaurant.
Well, how
right?
often are you doing it? If you're doing it once every couple months, I think everyone deserves that once in a while.
Oh, let me take this back. Loudest table at a steakhouse, you're a douchebag. Because every table at a steakhouse of like guys at a table is loud.
There's jokes.
If you're
where
the
everyone bangs,
loudest,
someone goes, "Ah."
you're for sure the worst people.
Yeah.
But if you're at like a tapas place and you're loud, you're probably good
Dude.
people.
Last place at Chili's. What do you think of that?
You're the most fun for sure.
Yeah, dude. Then you get the Corona Rita.
Margarita, yeah. I had the. No,
Loudest
I'm
people
thinking
at a
of.
flame broiler.
I was
Dude,
gonna
yeah.
say the
Oh, yeah.
T1000 Narita, but that was at Red Robin.
Oh,
Red Robin's
that's from
a spot,
Terminator.
dude.
Yeah, it was like a Terminator.
Oh,
homage,
really?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Red Robin has the best honey mustard I've ever had.
Yeah, they don't fuck around. So good. But when my homies from high school and college got together with the Workaholics dudes, also big personalities and like famous on top of that. So they're like when you're out, there's a whole other like element or whatever. I was like, how's this gonna go? and it was just like fucking off the rails, you know.
Everyone
Like,
connected.
everybody.
That's the best,
and like
dude.
my homies, they don't really give a fuck that I'm on TV. Like they don't care.
Yeah.
Like they know, but like it hasn't moved. My place in like the hierarchy hasn't like shifted, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
It's not like all of a sudden I'm Johnny Drama,
Right.
right? Like or not Johnny Drama. Who's the main guy
Vince.
of Entourage?
Vince Chase.
I'm not Vince suddenly. Like I'm still
Yeah, I was like,
Johnny
why do you
Drama.
think about yourself?
No.
Yeah.
I'm still Johnny Drama and always will be. Definitely not fucking Turtle.
You're not Turtle though, dude.
But like I've seen friendship groups where like somebody has some sort of like start making a ton of money or like whatever, like famous just because we're in this business. And like you can tell now they're like the ringleader for some reason.
Yeah.
And it just you know that it's new for them. But like we have the best times all together whenever we fucking kick it. Or like
That's
my
awesome.
wedding was just fucking a good time.
That's
That's
awesome.
the best. When
Yeah.
the groups connect and you see them connecting, you're
Yeah.
like, I did
Yeah.
something right.
Now
You're
some
like,
of my
yeah.
teammates from the swim team who are not super loud, I think they might have not had like the best time.
They couldn't fit in quite.
Yeah.
Quite right.
You know, you got your head in water a lot. You're not really that loud.
Those solo sports are weird for psychology. Like wrestlers are always kind of a little odd.
It's weird, yeah.
Because I don't know if it breeds camaraderie the way like a sport where you got to share the ball does.
Here's where the camaraderie comes from is that you're so committed to something
You've suffered through
that's
something.
physically tolling and you're
Right.
all like barfing in the gutter together. Like,
Yeah, I shouldn't say that.
you know, you're shaving each other's backs.
That's connection.
Yeah, you're connecting. When you are shaving somebody's back,
I need someone to shave my back. Actually, I haven't shaved it in a while, and I have
join
my
a swim
clipper.
team.
Well, I was gonna ask now.
Wait a second. Are you just fucking here to have somebody shave your back?
That's why I asked you to come over, dude.
Yeah, I'll
And
do
I knew
it.
I knew if the pressure of the camera.
Are you
was
guys
on.
still sponsored by Pubic Trims?
Manscaped.
Manscaped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that's why when he saw you at the Clipper game, he's like, dude, I think I found someone to shave my back.
I had the clipper in my hand, and that's why I was calling. Dude, I literally.
Is this
did-
a Clippers Manscaped like Clippers?
It's a little synergy.
Nice.
Dude, it was kind of embarrassing. I was with some homies, and then I see you walking across the street. You were with your child.
Yeah.
Too.
The street? Oh, it was outside?
It was outside. It was after the game, and I
Oh.
think it was you were like cutting but you were cutting across the street.
Yeah.
You know? And I go honors, and you just kept walking.
But I
And-
probably threw up a deuce or something.
No, dude, it wasn't like you were ignoring me. It was like
Oh, you
it
just
was-
didn't hear me.
you didn't hear me. There was
Yeah.
like tons of I think, and there was
Yeah.
just tons of people out there and
Yeah.
stuff. So you just kept walking. Then I was like, I turned back to my friends. I was like, I know that guy.
Well, I mean,
we just kept walking.
well, so
Yeah.
the fact that like using my name on a show and having everybody know it.
You must hear that all the time.
Yeah, so it's like at the same game, I saw Paul Shear. You guys know Paul Shear, right?
Yeah, of course.
But somebody's just like, Durs! And I'm like, and then he like came and got in front of me, was like, yo! And I go, oh, what's up?
It's a friendly.
What's up, dude?
Yeah.
So yeah, it sometimes it can get confusing. And then also like for my kid, he thinks it's just like fucking bizarre. You know?
Right.
He's just like, oh, what are they like, workaholics? And I'm like, shut up. People like me.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that funny? Like, have you showed your son your comedy and stuff like that?
No, not really, because most of it's he shouldn't see it yet.
It's too advanced.
He's
a
8.
little bit, like
Like,
maturity wise.
My oldest is 8, but I do remember when he was like fucking 3, and I was watching a rough cut on my phone, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm watching Daddy's show," and it was this stunt where like Adam's on a zip line, and he like rams into a wall and does something hilariously physical, and like knowing, you know, Adam, like it's over the top, like seriously in pain, like really selling it. And I was like, and it's super funny. So I showed it to my kid when he was 3, and he like immediately started going, no. And I was like, oh no, it's not real. It's not real. He's okay. It's pretend.
Right.
But he thought he just watched a human get like annihilated off a zip line.
It's like an Ebombs world video.
Yeah.
You were like, do you like fucked up shit?
But like now he gets comedy, so it was worth it.
I think you should show him the college episode when he's like about to go to college.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, well, I don't
You
know.
just gotta look at him and be like, welcome to college.
Yeah, welcome to college. I mean, by the way, I loved just that douchebagginess of the Durs character who's like, I'm going to take it upon myself to be the authority figure because I got a good handle on what the situation is here. That person is always the most insecure person.
Yeah.
Like in college, I worked at a liquor store, and day one, there was this guy who's like, "Is this the fresh meat? All right, welcome aboard." To me, because I'm like delivering kegs, he's like, "You don't fucking do it like that. This guy over here doesn't fucking know." And I'm like, "All right, fuck, all right." Within 2 weeks or less, I realized that was like the dumbest dude at the job.
Yeah.
Who had no idea what was going on, and everybody was making fun of him like behind his back.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but like day 1 and 2, I was like, better listen to this fucking guy.
Right,
He
yeah.
knows what he's doing. He's like 25.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, he's 25 and he's still working at this liquor store delivering kegs. Right on.
Yeah.
You know, so I love that. I love that guy who is like, oh fuck, for like at least a week I'm gonna be smarter than this person or wiser about like the surroundings until they like graduate past you and you go, fuck, I gotta wait for somebody new.
Right. It's like
And-
he's got to cling to that status for the brief moment
Yes.
that he has it.
Yeah, and Durs was like all about that because it was just, you know, he knew he was limited. Yeah.
Well, the look you give in the delivery is you have that look on your face of like where you just like this is my moment.
It's like I think we might have even said out loud like trailer moment for a show that doesn't have a trailer. But yeah, it's one of those cheesy lines that if you ever heard somebody say in real life, you'd be like, all right, man.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone here? You know?
I mean, my buddies that episode. I mean, the hump off the diving board. Maybe we talked about
The
this
hump
last time.
off the diving board is like that's the one of the things where I'm like, wish we could take that back. It was a little too ferocious.
Right. Yeah.
Because we're writing the Workaholics movie now for Paramount Plus. And I went back and watched a bunch, and I was like, I feel like we did a pretty good job of like pushing the envelope, but being like, when we push the envelope about anything sexist, racist, chauvinist, we were making sure that our guys were dumb in that instance, or like shining a light on like how ridiculous it is to think this way or be this way. But that one I think got away from us a little bit.
Right.
Like and Adam, the character, did what he was supposed to do. It was really supposed to be like they found a place on the top 10 meter to fuck because no one's up there, and like he's having sex and people see it and he's like, yeah, it's the best time of my life. And I think he was supposed to like be holding on to her hips as you do, and then let go to go like this and still hit it and knock her off.
Yeah.
But Adam just fucking like nailed her off the 10 meter.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it at Edit Bay and just going like,
Too much.
well, hilariously over the top, right? You laugh because you're just shocked
At the ridiculousness.
at the
of it.
ridiculousness of it. Ridiculousness. Shout out. It's on every day, all day on MTV. Ridiculousness.
Rob Dietrich, who's worth more money than Bezos at this
Yeah. And for good reason.
point. Yeah.
And now I watch it and I just go, wish we got one more where it was just the hands going up and more of like a tumble off the.
Not as intentional in the push.
Yeah, not as like.
I'm enjoying doing this to a person.
Yeah, which I don't think the Adam character has in him, right?
It just played that way. In that
It just
moment.
played that way because, again, Adam Devine, the human, the real person, he's more of an endomorph. He's got a lot of meat down there.
He's got that ass power.
A lot of
we're talking
power,
about that.
you know, and I think it just got away from him.
He's got to harness that. That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't, you know.
So you
But
do you ever- do
that
you ever
actress
have to-
was super fun and funny.
Yeah.
And I joked about you guys because you guys were working on your show. And I was like, are you quoting it yet? And you're like, huh? And we always quote that girl because she was like, I'm just a girl who grew up in a small town with one stoplight. You know, we would always run that line. Be like, I mean, like, did you guys do that where you grew up? Because in the writer's room, you're like, well, we played laser tag or Ghost in the Graveyard. Did you guys do that? And somebody would just be like, I mean, I'm just a girl from a small town with one stoplight. Because she just killed that line.
I always quote our AD. We had, we work with like people who don't know that they're like in something sometimes, you know,
Sure,
we're trying
yeah.
to get like man on the street stuff.
Right.
And sometimes you just get a psychopath.
Yeah.
And we had one dude who, and this won't be in it, so I think I can say it. He was like, he came in with a voice that wasn't his actual voice. He, after a while, he started talking with a New York accent, which he tried to hide. And then he started talking about fighting people. And then he was
Oh,
like,
that's right, yeah.
He was like, punch me in the stomach. So I started socking him.
Right.
And then he goes, harder. And I hit him harder.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, really hit me. And I put like, he was solid.
You
as a
started
rock.
using your core on it.
I went like, I tried to like Joe Frazier him. I put
Yeah.
all my power into it. And then Chad was about to hit him and really didn't want to punch the stranger guy.
Yeah, he's like, hit me, bro.
Right.
And then I just remember our AD walked in and was like, before we did it, he just goes, I think we got it.
Yeah.
And I always quote him saying, I think we got it.
I think we got it.
Yeah, like
Great
just
The
job,
exact
guys.
way.
Great job.
stop the madness. Yeah.
And you don't want to get sued. That guy might have been hip to what was happening. He might have smelled the cameras and been like,
He knew. He
I'm
was
gonna
playing.
collect a
He,
check real quick.
he was trying to be something for it, which
Yeah.
always kind of sucks.
That's the
too.
worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want someone who's doe-eyed and kind of just being present.
Right. How do you guys feel about that sometimes? Because I love all the
Prank
what-
style man on the street.
prank
shit.
style man on the street blend, but like also like sometimes I'm like, this person's not in on it.
Right. If they
don't know what's
if they're
going
too,
on.
if they're like too naive.
Because you guys do a great job of balancing where, and we try to do this in a scripted way where we were always the dumbest people, right?
That's what we
Yeah.
try. The jokes, if as much as we can, we try to. Sometimes someone says some crazy shit,
Yeah.
and it seems like honest to who they are all the time,
Right.
And that they might not even be embarrassed if you did
Right.
keep it in, and you do need that juice sometimes too.
Yeah.
But I think more often than not, we try to make it that the joke's on us, and they're there to kind of like be an audience surrogate almost. But
Right.
but you can't do that all the time. Sometimes you do get into that middle ground where you're like, this is like this
Right.
person probably wouldn't love this, but it's funny enough and
Yeah.
it seems authentic enough that you got to kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's good. You can't. It's real. You know what I mean? Like you can't script that kind of stuff. So I think that is why people love your shit so much, just because it is like this weird window.
Yeah. I think if we were much more like pointed to where like we're gonna make this person look stupid,
Right.
I wouldn't feel good about that.
Right.
And I don't want to give us too much credit too, but I do think in most of our interactions we go into the scene wanting to, or whatever you call it, wanting to like the other person.
Right.
Like most of the time I'm not going in there being like, oh, I'm gonna make this person look like a fucking asshole.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I hope when I talk to this person
He
connect.
hangs himself.
yeah, for sure that too.
You connect.
for sure
for
that too.
Yeah.
But I think the best scenes are when you actually click with someone. Those almost fly just as much as the scenes where someone's like
Right.
a fucking asshat.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost like the combo of like the weirdness, but also showing the good side of humanity.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of the gold standard.
Yeah, if you get a crazy person who's actually kind of cool,
Yeah.
that's the best.
Do you
Yeah.
guys feel like, because this is so like, let's just keep talking about on Workaholics. And I learned this from Bill Maher. We'd promote from within. We would have background actors that we would essentially kind of look for like real characters, right?
Mhm.
And that's where we found like Jet Set Hudson, who
Mhm.
became like a mainstay on the show. And at first you're like, oh yeah, this is funny. Like this guy's funny, and you're playing along and like, oh, he's got like a hilarious delivery. But in a different way where you guys are spending the day with them, eventually we're spending like years with these people.
Right.
And then they're like, hey, I can't come next week. Like my father died or whatever. And you're like, oh, this thing that we thought was cute and funny. And we would connect and like, we were genuinely giving these people a shot because we thought what they brought to the show was funny, even if they weren't fully in on why we thought it was funny sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jet Set wanted to be a Michael Jackson level entertainer.
Right.
And he would go dance in Venice on the weekends with his like wild hair and crazy suits. And obviously just didn't have the talent that Michael Jackson had, but he had a thing
Right.
that we thought we could harness and put out there. And at first we're kind of laughing at how he says it. And then you spend more time with these people. And then you are genuinely like, how's your weekend? You good? And then you start to tap into not the thing you were laughing at first, but like you find a hybrid of like, well, this is actually like a strength we've discovered with this person.
Right.
Even though they're not like fucking from Juilliard or did sketch comedy for years before. They're just kind of like a wacky person. And then it became less of like us kind of wringing them out for our benefit and going like, yo man, and if you want to improvise on this one, like do your thing. And then you go, oh fuck, that was kind of funny. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't need to write some dumb off the wall thing for him to like make him say,
Right.
like, no, say this. This will be funny for you to say.
Yeah.
And Daniel Stern of Home Alone, City Slickers fame, Rookie of the Year fame, was on our show, and he was like, this guy's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't like a trained actor. He was just a character who would say the fucking most hilarious shit.
He's
Yeah.
a real person.
A real guy.
With some people, when they go through, I feel like when they go through that theater pipeline, and they might have like the best training and technical skills,
Right.
but they lose like a part of their authenticity in the
Right.
process. And when you get someone like that who's just themselves,
Yeah.
right when you say go,
Right.
that I think that's always more exciting
Yeah.
to watch.
We were
Yeah.
worried about getting flack for, remember Waymond? He was the guy who just never talked, like short Asian dude.
Mm-hmm.
So his wife was like this hilarious woman who would always kind of like boss Waymond around because he was just kind of like a go with the flow guy. And she was like, Waymond, no, you know, Waymond, he needs to lose weight. And she had like a thick accent. And one day she just like whips out this like Chinese or Asian like fan, you know, like whoosh, and she had like moves, and we were like, can we have you do that like on the show? Like she would get like in your face and be like and you're like, whoa, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And she was super funny about it, and then we put it on the show and we watched it back and we were like, is everyone gonna think we were like, hey, Asian lady, here's some fans. Can you do like this thing? But like, no, we found the thing that like she was already doing on like a hot day that she did for like comedic effect. And we were like, this is gold.
Yeah.
And then I think there was like a talent show cold open that we did where Adam's like trying to tell jokes and no one's laughing. And then she gets up there and everyone's like, oh my God, this is amazing with the fans. And Adam starts like crying because he just wanted to be the star of The Office. But again, just like, you know, she was a background actor. She wasn't like
Yeah.
a trained actor. She was somebody who was just being authentic. And then we, you know, early on in the seasons, we're like, oh, let's try and write something funny for these people. But then you would just take the thing that they already bring to the table. Like you're saying you look for, hopefully.
Well, and I think what would keep it from being like, feeling like you guys just put someone in this like
Right.
position that
Right.
seems like obvious or something like
Right.
that, is that
That's what we did to ourselves.
is that it's real. You can tell it's real, and
Yeah.
they're actually kind of good at it.
Right.
And then when you want to like, I think sometimes you'll see a joke like that, you're like, oh, this is like they're going for this, I'm just gonna dismiss it. But then you see the person in the moment, you're like, oh, they're actually fucking good at this, and
Yeah.
they're selling out on it.
And it's making the show better.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I
Yeah.
think that's always, if you can feel the person's passion for it when they're doing it, I think that keeps it from being.
Which brings us back to Shake That Bear.
Right.
Those
Well, it's
people
a
love
classic.
fucking on that bear. They came a bunch of times.
That was incredibly.
If they didn't like it, if you felt like they were just doing it to get clicks, nobody would still be talking about it.
No, it was,
Yeah.
they were doing it for love of the game, dude. Like,
Can
these
you
people
imagine the
love to fuck-
smell of that bear, by the way?
Oh, it's so erotic, dude. They shit
Unbelievable.
themselves. There's no better smell than fresh bear dung.
Like a wet bear.
They take fat shits.
Yeah.
That's very, I don't know. It's something just rocks your olfactory and just sticks your dick at attention.
Yeah.
Have you had sex on any animals?
No.
That's cool.
I mean, humans are animals, right?
Oh,
So
that's true.
I guess, yes. I
So you've
guess.
had sex with a person?
Yeah.
Beast.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
That's cool.
Um,
Do you want to
I'm-
answer?
no, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say this is the lull.
Well, so we were going to transition. Do you want to answer some questions?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But I like to, when there's a lull,
just call it out.
this is it.
Or just sit in it. Yeah, it's nice. I'm trying to get better at sitting in it because I think it's real.
Yeah, it's fine.
Barrels or Ragers? What's up, my dogs? What route should I go here? Barrels in Costa Rica or Ragers in Miami?
Oh, dude.
Barrels. Okay. And this is barrels like surf barrels, or this is,
Surf barrels, I believe.
okay. So his question is,
It's probably in Hako or something like that.
should I live here to surf these barrels, or should I move there to rage in Miami?
I think these are both short-term trips, but you can play it either way. And you
Look,
can answer both.
Here's what I'll say: the waves are never gonna stop, but your nights,
I
your
like
nights, they're fleeting.
That's true. You could be 50 and go down there and get some barrels in Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might not paddle as hard and you might not cut as deep, but
That's not what it's about.
But Ragers in Miami, you're in your prime for that.
Yeah.
So take advantage of that window.
Yeah.
That's fire advice, dude.
Yeah, because I was gonna go with barrels, but I didn't really think about it that way. I guess my thought was barrels would potentially be more lasting memories, but I mean, you have a wild night in Miami.
It's true.
You're wearing a
You guys
white
been to Miami,
suit.
right?
It's my favorite city.
Just
besides
once, but
Las
it's
Vegas.
epic.
Isn't it
They're the two-
unfucking
It's
believable?
amazing.
Dude, thank you, bro. It's the best fucking... Dude, you feel any street you walk on, you're like, a party is about to pop
Yeah.
off at any
Yeah.
second.
It's amazing.
This is my like assessment of Miami, and I get flack for it, but I don't fucking care. I get a lot of flack, guys.
Whose car are we taking?
In a weird way, Miami is what LA tries to be, but it will never be.
There's too much
It can't be.
self-consciousness here.
There's too much self-consciousness because of the industry. Miami is just fucking, it's a sexy city. It is, it's got this nightlife. LA, there's a thing behind everything here. There's nothing behind Miami as far as like,
There's no
why people are
ulterior
out.
motive.
Exactly.
No one's like, oh, I'm going to parties so I can meet this person.
Right.
Everyone's like, dude, I'm just trying to live my life as fun as it can be.
Look the best, have the best time. LA thinks it's that, but really you're looking your best so that like someone can be like, excuse me, do you
wanna be
model?
in this
Yeah,
thing?
like, do you want to be in a reality show?
No, we're all psychos here. And in Miami, there's psychos, but it's all on the surface. There's
Yeah.
nothing more to learn.
And I remember I got yelled at by somebody because a bar let out, and I was like, it was a Tuesday night, and I was like, what do you guys all do for jobs that like you're out till 4 a.m. on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
This guy was like, fuck you, what do you do for a living? And I was like, no, I'm not asking what you do. I'm like,
Right.
I'm wondering how you
do
guys
you
are all
function?
friends and you're all out on a Tuesday at 4 a.m. or whatever. Like, do you have work tomorrow, or do you not work, or do you work on the weekends?
They got a different kind of endurance there that I would put up against like people who do Ironman challenges or marathons. Like
Yeah.
they can party
Yeah.
every night there, and they've like conditioned their bodies to be able to handle it.
Right.
Our old agent Andrew
Yeah.
was from there. That guy could go. He
Yeah.
could just go.
He has endurance, yeah.
And
New York,
the
New York
Latin
too.
aspect of it too makes
Yeah.
it seem like it's another country.
Right when you get off the airport, you're like, I'm not in America anymore.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, like the amount of how much. I guess I just never expected a city in America to have that much water,
Right.
like tropical
Yeah.
water around it.
Yeah.
And you go there and you're like, it's like, this is. I went there and I was like, this is something I expect to find in like the Caribbean, or
Right,
like,
right.
Dude,
Hawaii.
we took a boat to lunch.
Yeah.
Sick.
We took a fucking boat
And then
to
there's
lunch.
and then
Bruh.
there's sandbars
Mm-hmm.
that you can rage on. Shout out Magic Mike 2,
First one.
first one.
I'm big on the Magic Mikes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love Florida.
I don't love Florida.
It's a good caveat.
I love
And I'm not-
love that section of Miami though.
But Miami is something else.
It's beautiful, man.
You
Bro, I
know,
love Florida.
It's beautiful, brother.
Miami, and like the hotel game there is so on point. Like they're in the hospitality business.
Yeah.
You know, a lot like Vegas, how it's like it's really dialed in. Whereas I feel like if you come to LA, some hotels are fine, but it's not like. But again, everyone's like, I just work here because I can audition during the day or I'm busy. What there, it's like, this is a good gig. I want to work here. These hotels are primo, and you can just get a beer at the pool, and then walk into the ocean with your beer, and walk back, and it's just
People are content with where
Seamless.
they're at, whereas
Yeah.
here, no one's content with it.
no,
Dude, the Standard Hotel in Miami,
never been.
bro,
Yeah.
hacienda style.
Yeah, I'm a Delano guy.
Is that the hotel?
I stayed at the Delano a few times.
That
It's a
place
little
bangs.
like mature, but like it's a good time.
You're a Bellagio guy when you go to Vegas.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really go to Vegas. Last time I went was with my family at like the height of they had just opened the doors, and we were going to Mammoth, but then there were fires, so we had to leave. And on the way home, we were like, maybe we drive to Utah, and then we were like, fuck, and then it was too late, so we just went to Vegas and stayed at the Encore.
Great spot.
Amazing spot, they fucking had it so dialed in. I signed like 20 different contracts that was like, I won't sue you guys if I get COVID kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then just got like a fucking banging breakfast for the boys. And we
Sounds
pieced
nice.
out and went to this super sad lion sanctuary.
Oh, nice.
bummer.
Like the
Yeah.
old Siegfried and Roy contingent? Oh, those are tigers.
Those are tigers, but these were supposedly like the lineage of the MGM tiger at the beginning of movies,
Really?
right? Yeah.
Wow.
And they're just in like chain link fence,
Ugh.
whatever. This lady's feeding meat out of like a purse
Oh,
with her
dude.
bare hands, like through the chain link. They're just like, and they, every 10 minutes, all the lions just start going, like communicating with each other. Like, we got to get the fuck out of
It's
here.
fucking
Yeah.
Has
sad,
anyone
bro.
dug a hole?
Dude.
They're literally like, watch more documentaries. They'll take the lid off this whole thing.
They will. So take your kids to go see it before it's too late. And then there's like one giraffe in a barn that has like a runway that's like 40 feet long that it just hoofs back and forth
That's
on.
brutal.
Yeah, but they got my money.
Yeah, dude.
That's
There,
what Vegas is for.
I went to Australia and went to an animal sanctuary like that, and I swear, like every kangaroo was on tranquilizers.
They love it, mate.
'Cause
They
they're
love
just-
it. You're like,
They're sitting
I
there
don't
with
know.
their balls. Like this one was just sitting
Right.
there like spread eagle with his balls hanging out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is not
Do they have
like
big
I
dicks?
like seeing your balls, dude.
Because you're talking
I
about their
just-
balls. Do you remember their dicks?
I don't remember their dicks. I just remember the balls.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
No slack.
yeah. I mean, that's
I feel like a kangaroo.
What would you rather be known for
Yeah.
your balls or your dong?
My dick.
You're so mature, dude.
I think that
respect
goes
it.
without saying. I've never
But
ever
dude-
heard
but
anybody
dude-
be like, you know, he's a legend. What do you mean? He has like humongous balls, and everyone goes, "Whoa!"
My husband's hot. He's got big balls. We're like,
Right.
what about his dick? Like, not much.
You
No,
see
no.
the outline of his balls.
Yeah, no.
But dude, what a lady if she did love you for your balls.
Yeah.
I've never been with a woman who was like, you've got great balls.
Yeah.
No. And would that be a red flag, or would that be a green flag?
Green.
I think green.
If right off the bat she's like, I just went like this, like she's looking up at you, like she's got him. She just goes, "These are unbelievable."
It would just make me think she
What would that even be?
It meant she dated a guy with weird balls before then.
Like we all can surmise, I think that's the word, what like a great dick is, right? And
I got it in my head right now.
Women, you
My buddy
know,
Greg.
you know what that is, right? When you see it, you probably know it. What would a great set of nuts even be?
I think they don't have like a ton of hang to them, but they're long. But they don't have.
But that means they're not working correctly.
Is that true? Because I got long balls.
Well, that means they're working correctly.
Oh, okay. I just mean when long balls look old sometimes. They get like those like
Yeah.
striations in the skin.
Oh.
And I think you want to have long balls, but you want the skin to look like refurbished. Like you just hit it with like a
Right.
one of those circle white things that they
A
put on.
ShamWow.
Yeah, or like I meant the one that's got the motor on it. That's got like the thing that they put on tables and shit.
Right. The turtle wax.
Yeah, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Well, I guess that's the thing. It's like you hear about a lot of great dicks, but how often do you hear about great balls?
Well, because I'm like
I have good balls.
yeah,
you have good balls.
the like
Talk about it more, dude.
the
GT has amazing balls.
Yeah,
the
'cause
ball
I'm just here
swing. Have
living
you ever
in
gotten
the-
a compliment on like the contact of your balls as they connect?
Dude, I wish I've like I'm not a the way you described Adam's thrust, which I totally respect.
It's a theatrical thrust.
I don't-
Although I do know that in real life he throws down hard.
I don't throw down that hard
Yeah,
from that
okay.
position.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like eye contact and kisses.
For sure. For sure. I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe the people let us know, like, have there ever been, like, a set of nuts where you've been like, whoa, those nuts are hitting it right? Like, whoa, that's, like, a nice bonus?
That's a nice note.
Or is it just kind of like, yeah, nuts hit, but, like, you know, because it's a little extra stimulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do we think this guy should go to Miami?
Yeah. And if you meet someone special, swing those nuts and just throw it out there. Go, how are my nuts?
Have fun in Miami, you big bald bastard.
Yeah.
Next question. Paddle jockeys. I have a beef of the year I've been dying to get out, and I need some insight from the Sultans of Stoke. I'm from Rhode Island, where waves are few and far between. But when they come, you can feel the entire state stoke meter blow through the roof. The community gets amped to get together and enjoy the salt. My beef is with the heavy influx of paddleboarders. They came out of nowhere in the last 4 to 5 years, and they're growing exponentially. They can grab every halfway decent ride before anyone horizontal on a traditional stick can even see it. What's worse, there's no etiquette from any of these punks. Constantly dropping in and cutting people off. I get why it's happening. For some elders in the tribe, age has taken a hold and the T levels are down for the count. So there's no way for them to compete on a stick. Or they're lazy pricks who don't want to tune their rigs to shred old fashioned. Being in between a couple of paddleboarders is like having a fucking tapeworm. My question is, am I out of sorts for saying some of these stoke thieves? They look at me like I have 5 heads every time I try to draw out how they're cramping the lineup. Much love.
I kind of zoned out at the beginning, but he's talking about paddleboarders and taking away the stoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a tough.
I zoned out while I was reading it.
Yeah, I don't know what. I was just sometimes I do that.
This sounds like and maybe this is a term that gets used in surfing, but kind of like surf gentrification.
Yeah,
like there's a specific community that's been here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Things have changed, and now there's a broader community that's like, I can go there too now, but my lifestyle is different, and I'm bringing my new vibe. And maybe the people who were there before don't appreciate the vibe. It's tough, you know.
Well, there's that. It's like it's a new way to surf for and especially older dudes, and it's a new workout, and it's sort of popularized by Laird Hamilton.
Right.
The issue with it,
that's surfer on surfer kind of.
Yeah, and the issue with it is it's really, really big boards, so it's probably like 11, 12 feet. So if they're flying down a wave, that's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Also, since they're such big boards, these dudes can catch the waves out way before anyone with a shortboard can. So they're a little bit more dangerous, and they're taking the best waves because they can get on them first. And so it's a really tough thing to grapple with, because you're kind of like, I don't want to, these waves belong to God.
Right.
They're owned by God. Poseidon. And it's like, I don't, I can't claim these. These are, owned by, Poseidon.
Yeah, but there's a certain etiquette, like,
right.
You got to earn your spot. It's like a public basketball court or anything else where it's like, if you've been balling there for a while, you kind of get first dibs.
Yeah. And I think if the wave is meant for a more high performance surf, then I think stand-up paddleboarders, except for Laird Hamilton, should take note of that and be like, okay, this is probably meant for a shortboarder to get barreled on, or to do a lot of turns on. This is not meant for me to just go straight on. So, I think if they're really kind of, getting in the way in that respect, then I think you got to say something.
I mean, also, like, odds are you can punk them, right?
Yeah.
But who wants to get involved in that?
It's nice to try it. See if you're the kind of guy who has it's not the normal dude who's good at punking people, but there are guys who have that skill set. And I think if you do, those people are valuable. Like they self-police and regulate these little ecosystems. And you need those guys. But if that's not you, I say, hey, if the one guy's going to Miami, you go to Costa Rica. Get those barrels there.
How old is this guy? Do we know?
I'm going to guess 22.
Right. What you got to do is make real good friends with the high schoolers. And the high schoolers who are surfers, they know they're dealing with the same shit, but they got nothing to lose. Right? And they're crazy. They'll do anything, right?
This is smart.
These are the same kids who like throw rocks at cars and then just run away. Do you know how much damage you can do if you throw a rock at a car? As adults, we know that's super fucked up. But in high school, we all probably did it.
As an adult, I've never... Sorry.
So recruit these high school kids to do all your dirty work, because it's going to benefit them. It's going to benefit you. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
That's brilliant, dude. Is there anything more scary than like a jacked high school kid?
Is there anything scarier than a group of high schoolers?
Nothing.
If I'm ever like walking past a Cold Stone Creamery and I see like 8 to 12 high school kids all together, I'm like, please do not throw an entire ice cream at me.
Please don't fuck me
Because
they will.
They'll film it. The stakes could not be higher. They could go viral for something like that.
Yeah, now they're getting rewarded for it.
Exactly.
Dude, yeah. Especially if I'm with like a lady and we walk by a group of high schoolers, I'm just like, knuckle up, dude. Anything could happen at this point.
What would you do? A friend of mine used to do this when we were really young and we'd be driving past like an older couple. It'd be like a guy and a girl walking. He'd be like, yo, man, you hitting that shit? Because he knew the guy's fucked. He can't be like, you know it. Because then she'd be like, what are you doing?
That was going to be
right?
my answer. Fuck, dude.
Well,
you know what?
Unless your girl's like a ride or die, like, yeah, fuck you.
Oh, right. If it's early on in the thing.
And
Yeah.
I'm fucking him. Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah. Hey, you hitting that shit,
When
bro?
she lets me.
That's a good answer.
Nice.
Or you know what you could do? You go, you talking to me or her?
That's good. That's really
Yo, you
Because she hits that.
Yo, are you hitting that?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me or her? And then they go, this guy is cool.
Dude, that's
They
really
crash.
Scramble
they
their
die.
brains. Dude, that's always the best. Scramble them a little bit.
You get in the wallets, you take their money, and you run off. And the girl you're with, she doesn't question any of this part. You know?
This girl sounds cool. All
Well,
right,
yeah, high school kids are crazy. Like, get the fucking youngsters on board. Be like, what's with these fucking paddleboarders? Somebody needs to slash their tires. Just start saying all this stuff. Because I think last time I was on here, I talked about my homie who grew up in Palos Verdes, and they knew the route that everyone who they knew walked down the cliff to get to the surf there. And if they saw somebody going down a different route, they knew they weren't local. They would all go to fucking shore and go, get the fuck out of here, or we're going to bust your fucking board, which is not cool. But guess what?
It works.
It's just what it is.
Gets the
works.
job done.
That's I'm not saying like that's the right thing, but that's surf culture. There are limited waves in a way, you know, because you don't want every fucking beach to be, what is it, Dana Point, where there's just 1,000 dudes out there
That's
from
where
all
I'm
over
from.
LA.
Talking about Salt
I
Creek.
guess, you know, I was talking.
Yeah, Salt Creek.
Right?
Yeah, that's where I played volleyball growing up.
The one time I
It's
met,
crazy out there.
the one
That's where
time I
I'm
met
from,
Ryan Scheckler, he was like, yeah, a lot of people try to, you know, cut me off, and I'm like, you don't own these waves, God does. And that stuck with me.
Yeah,
Scheckler's a beast, dude.
He's a beast.
All right, you guys ready for the next part of the pod?
but
Sorry,
God
go
owns
ahead.
the waves, but like the community owns the beach.
Right.
And if you use that beach, if you want to paddle from wherever the fuck town you're from all the way there, be my guest. But if you want to use our beach to get out to God's waves, you better be paying taxes.
Respect, dog.
You know what I mean?
Respect.
Neptunius. It is heavy.
It's real, bro.
Next question. But I
paddling
feel
up.
like that saves the day. Like,
yeah.
don't get involved. Get little crazy fucking kids.
Deputize
Yeah.
some little fuckers, dude, and get
Oh.
them operational.
This is what I was saying. I was going to say for the pod. I just watched the, not Ed Hardy, the Von Dutch documentary.
Dude, I watched the first episode.
And
yeah.
the dude who grew up to be like a gangbanger who was like also a surfer and shit.
Yeah.
Find that kid
Yeah.
to go do some wild shit
Yeah.
and then reap the bennies.
Tell him that these dudes are fucking with God's waves.
Yeah. Oof.
Those kids are amazing. Fearless. I don't know who put that in there.
Fearless hard bodies with nothing to lose.
I had a buddy like that in high school, Eddie Codeine. Dude, he ended up, dude, and it was crazy.
Wait, sorry. Codeine was like his legit last
That was
name?
his legit.
Oh,
last name.
really?
And dude, he had, yeah, no, it wasn't a nickname. Eddie
That
Codeine.
is heavy.
And then he had sex with our Spanish teacher.
Nice.
By the way, of course he did.
And it made sense. I wasn't even that surprised. But dude, she was like in her 70s.
Whoa.
Hey, dude, of course she was.
Of course. And then he got her.
Raw.
He ended up getting her pregnant
In her 70s?
in her 70s. He was potent, this kid.
Now you got to stay with her.
And no,
Just to ride it out and see what happens.
they kept the kid because she didn't have any kids. She kept the
Wow.
kid. She ended up dying of old age, and he fucking stepped up. No one expected this from Codeine.
Yeah.
He stepped up, raised the kid,
Wow.
and then now that kid,
It's Timothy Chalamet.
Close. Kids going to the Winter Olympics this year.
Really?
Shut the fuck
I
up.
swear to fucking
In what?
God, dude.
Skeleton?
I don't want to give it away because then people, people listen and they'll reach out.
Well, but you know what though? That's gonna be like the story they run with. No,
I think they might tell the story.
because they went. Who's the skater who's like off the charts? Who
The
actually
little
had
kid?
No, he's like older, but he had a kind of a bad Olympics, but he's one of the best of all time.
Nija?
Yeah, and his background is
Pretty nuts.
turbulent,
Yeah.
right? And they kind of told the whole fucking story, which
love
I
that.
don't think I've ever seen them be like, let's really tell the whole story.
Yeah.
And it made it more interesting. So maybe they'll.
Yeah, keep your
Bob
eyes.
Costas will be fucking.
I would love that. Bob Costas is a beast in
Yeah.
broadcasting. I would love to
What
see
does a 70-year-old lady fuck like?
And he
Yeah.
and he got her pregnant. He was that potent, dude.
Wow.
So she's got to be one of
Cody.
the oldest ladies ever to have a baby.
That's what they said. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they said.
Yeah.
Cody,
They always say shit like that.
Cody. I remember after he knocked her up, we were like just so amped on it. We were just like, Cody, how the fuck did you do that?
And he was like a guy, a peripheral guy in your crew.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like cool enough to run with him or dangerous enough, but
Right.
I did give him his daps when he superseded nature and
Codeine.
put a little fucking
By
dynamic.
the way, you said his
athlete in
last
there.
name, so
Yeah.
His
Dude,
kid.
I bet,
Oh, yeah.
I bet Codeine has great balls.
He's not on social media because he
No
says he
doubt.
doesn't want people to know where he's at.
yeah. Yeah. Like in life.
Yeah, he just is like, I prefer to be. He didn't use the word enigmatic, but that's what he
Mhm.
meant.
He's a mystic.
Mm-hmm. You
I
guys
wonder
are-
what he thinks about the waves, if they're gods or not.
Definitely thinks they're gods.
he believes in God hardcore.
Without a doubt.
He's one of the most. He's got 4 cross tattoos on his body.
That's
One
just
on
a square.
one
That's
on-
just tic tac toe.
One on each arm, one on his chest, and one on his back.
I could see.
He's surrounded because he says he never wants to be surprised. He wants to have God on all sides in case he gets attacked.
Dude, huge. That's huge.
If, by the way, we're judging. If your last name is Codeine, you're getting 4 cross tattoos.
I want to get a tattoo that says ally on my shoulder.
Ally.
Yeah. Because I feel like I'd never lose an argument that way. Like if anyone doubted my bona fides, I'd just go, "What now, dog?"
But then he would go, so you got a tattoo
They would say that.
for sure.
All right, I won't get it.
Because you just said here, I'm gonna get this tattoo to win every argument. They might even pull this fucking clip.
People don't do shit like that.
Oh yeah, and then in the future they'll like sync it up to the because we're all gonna be going to drive-in movies because movie theaters are gonna close down. They're gonna put it up there and everyone's gonna start honking at you like fuck you.
Fuck, dude.
Maybe
I take back all those texts I sent you about the tattoo, dude. Delete that shit.
Ally. I don't know. I think maybe change your name to Ally. What's your middle name?
Thomas?
Yeah, that's gotta go.
Yeah, it's kind of whack anyways.
Right.
But then JT, J.A.,
Ja.
Jaw.
Ja.
Kinda
My
better.
name should have been Jaw.
Not
Jaw.
worse.
Dude, I wish my name was Jaw.
Ja rule.
See, everybody calls you Durs?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, it was like my neighborhood nickname growing up kind of thing. And then like the dudes from Workaholics heard my homies say it and they were like, "What do you call him?" And they're like, "Durs." And you go, "Oh, okay." Cuz who wants to say Anders? And also it's just easier to figure out if it's Anders or Anders or whatever. But then putting it on the show and then I'm out in public and it's like, "Durs." You're like, "Yeah."
I could see you saying, welcome to God's Waves.
Welcome. I was gonna say welcome to surf camp because I feel like he'd be like a camp counselor at a surf thing, but like
Who's secretly
every real
God?
surfer thinks he's like a fucking dork.
Yeah.
So here's how surfing is, and then when they leave camp, they're like, "Oh, that guy was like my surf camp counselor," and he's just like a fucking tool.
Yeah.
I could see, would you play God in a movie? If they were like, yo, you got to play God.
Sure. Yeah, I got no qualms about that. Like, you know, they're paying.
Would you play, I think I would play God as Insecure.
Oh, I mean, I let the page kind of dictate. You know, I look at myself as an actor like I'm, you know, not to be like that cliche, but like I'm the paint kind of thing. What do you want me to do? I know you want the words to come out of this body because you think this body is
The right vessel.
the right vessel for this. And I'll say it a few times my way. But if you want me to, I don't even like line readings. I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, can you say it like this? I can.
That's dope, dude. That's really like the right way to approach it. Like you're like a part of a greater piece of art, and you just want to fulfill your role within that. That's cool.
Yeah, because what do I care? Who cares?
That's a really artistic approach.
You know?
I think people sometimes let ego get in the. It's hard.
Yeah.
To just be like, and it seems like something you value is eliminating ego in things.
Well, I feel like there's a level of like, I always talk about this with my wife or whoever, like control is like such a huge driving force in people's lives. And to be someone who's like, I don't do line readings tells me like you have control issues.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're like, I need this to be exactly the thing I want it to be. And it's like, cool, enjoy your non-growth. You know, like, and by the way, you might nail it and they might use that take, but also you might be doing shit that they're like, we can't use this. This is embarrassing. Now we have to cut an entire scene.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So like, do it. And by the way, if you're a director or whatever, let people do it a few ways. And if you have a different way that you want to see it, just ask for it. And if the actor tells you to fuck off, fuck that actor.
Yeah,
you know? And if you're an actor, you should be like, did you have anything that you wanted to see out of me? And if you're not getting it, that's also weird to me. If you don't have a director who's like giving any kind of suggestion about like, dude, do one that's just off the rails, or like, okay, that was great. Will you do one that's just like so straightforward or like matter of fact? And you go, matter of fact, is that going to work? They don't know. You don't know. Just fucking try it.
Get the options.
Yeah.
And see what fits.
Yeah. Just let go.
I love it.
And let God's waves wash over you.
Dude, it's God's waves.
You can tell the director that's God's way.
Yeah, I just
Or I
talk
guess
to
that
God.
probably if you'd be talking about line reading. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That's
you
funny
would-
if you're working with a
but-
Christian actor, be like, yo, God told me that you should do it this way,
Oh my
brother.
God, dude. So I just worked in Alabama on this movie, and the local hires for like 2 hours would be cool and normal, and then slowly they'd be like, yeah, I did 4 movies last year. You're like, fuck, dude, you're killing it. Are you local down here in Alabama? And they're like, yeah, it's been really busy down here. I'm like, what other movies are filming down here in Alabama? And then they name 4 movies you've never heard of, starring people you've never heard of.
mm-hmm.
And then you go, sorry, was that like a straight to, was that like a HBO Max, or like, where would I see that? And they're like, these are Christian movies. And you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, God
Yeah.
bless the broken road.
Yeah, and you're
some
like-
lady like lost her husband in Iraq and then found God and
Right.
she's powering through.
And then as soon as that cat's out of the bag, they start going for you. And like this one dude, I felt so bad for him. He was like pushing this vitamin package that like that the church says like, hey, if you want to sell these vitamins, you can make some money, but it's clearly like a pyramid scheme. And he's like, I lost 32 pounds in 6 months. I didn't change anything, except I went for more walks, and I stopped eating this, and then I just took this vitamin. And I was like, well, how many nights a week were you eating that thing? And he was like, almost every day. And I go, well, do you think maybe like not eating the ice cream or the fried chicken or whatever the fuck he was talking about almost every day had something to do with it? And like getting out and power walking for the first time in 10 years had anything to do with it? He was like, I mean, it could, but also there's the stuff in these vitamins. And you're like, all right, man. May the Lord be with you.
Do you engage or do you just kind of like nod and then you're just like, let's get through this?
I'm pretty like, that's not what did it, dude.
Oh, so you really say it. That's
Yeah,
good,
like,
dude.
you know,
Yeah.
like I was like, you just want to be straightforward with people. You don't want to go like, okay, and then wink to the other person who hears something thinking it's crazy and going like, yeah, I would love to buy some. So like, what's your favorite flavor?
Mm-hmm.
And then just take somebody on a walk, because that's icky. I don't want to be that guy. I'd rather be like, dude, this isn't a pyramid scheme. And have them go, no, like, and maybe they denied it first, but then you kind of help them realize it is.
Yeah.
And look, that's not my job, but like, I don't want to sit there being pyramid schemed. If he's going to do that to me, I feel like I got the freedom to tell him, hey man, this is weird.
That's integrity.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I like
Right?
it. I really respect it. Yeah.
We talked music too. He likes, oh my God, this guy was like nicest dude ever, by the way. Good guy, not a bad person, but he was an adult. And he was like, music's just not good anymore. And I'm like, I like quite a bit of music that's coming out. And he's like, yeah, but have you heard that song? What? He goes, what? And I go, what? Why are you whispering? What are you saying? And he goes, wet. And like gesticulated
Big
down
pussy
here.
over there.
And I'm like, you're going on maybe 50-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
Just say wet ass pussy, dude. You'll be fine. Nothing's gonna happen. Like, you're not a bad person if you say it.
It is the name of the song.
It's the name of the song. Like, it's not derogatory, right? You're not like quoting the N-word in a rap song. Different issue. This is just words anyone can say. You're an adult man. What is happening in your mind, in your brain, that you're like, can't say it.
Yeah.
Just fucking say it. But I feel like he's a super religious guy, and he's just like, if I say this, next thing you know, I'll be
What do you think
turning tricks.
What do you think he thinks would happen? Would
I
he
don't
be?
know.
And what would
lightning
even be
with
wrong if he was turning tricks? Like, make a living, dog.
Make your living, dude. He might have a nice set of nuts on him. He might be making some bank.
And he might want to do that. That might be the life that was like what he's actually seeking.
I don't know. I felt bad for him, But then I also, the flip side of that is that I'm like, am I such a degenerate that I'm like, wet ass pussy, just say it.
Well, it's fun to be in that spot too when you're with a prude and you're like, oh, I can really like, hey, I can say pussy.
Yeah. I don't know.
When did you start saying the F word? When did that enter your lexicon?
Super early. I had a friend whose parents didn't care what movies we rented, and it was just like,
What a godsend those parents are.
my parents were like, no, obviously you can't watch RoboCop. You're
Varsity
7 or
Blues
whatever.
something.
That was a little later in high school, but I'm watching like Animal House and Eddie Murphy Raw. I remember watching super early.
One of the funniest. I like it more than Delirious. That one hit me more when I was young too.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, I remember watching Raw and just being like, what the fuck?
So like, I want to say in like first and second grade, we were swearing so much, and a friend of mine, it was like he had this moment where like as an adult, you're like, I got to stop drinking. He was like, dude, I got to stop swearing. It's getting out of control.
That's a first grader.
Yeah. I remember being like, what?
He was just saying fuck every other word.
Yeah, and he's like, I swear too much, dude. It's just fucking like, I gotta like stop, And like looking back, I was like, who fucking cares? But like, that was a friend of mine who like was setting parameters for himself.
He's a smart, mature kid.
Yeah, and maybe like I could have been like on board with that and set my own parameters on different issues later in life.
Right, it was a good lesson to learn. I'm grateful for friends like that.
Did you guys swear early?
Super early.
And I remember people who didn't. Where I'd be like, just swear. And they go like, I don't.
Well, and my parents.
It was like it was like smoking weed or drinking, where it's like, dude, just have a sip of beer.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't drink. Cut to 4 years later, they're senior or junior in high school, and they're like, oh, you drink now? And they're like, well, whatever.
It is nice being the first one out the gate where you're like, yo, I was in 5th grade and my parents partied pretty hard and I had older friends and I was like, we do like the DARE pledge.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, I will never smoke pot. And I would not say it. I would skip it and do the rest of it and be like, I won't do opiates or something.
DARE? I was a little fucked up kid. I wasn't like trouble or whatever. Like, I was just like, I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't like disruptive in like breaking the law and shit. Like, maybe a little bit, but like, I just didn't give a fuck.
You knew the rules were kind of arbitrary.
Care. No, I wasn't like the smart aleck kid who like had it figured out. I just was lazy and didn't give a fuck, and like, I was looking for attention, probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the youngest of 3 boys, kind of thing, and so I seemed like wayward, where people are like, you seem like you're from like a good family, whatever. Like, what the fuck's going on? You seem wayward, and I got the like medal that they give to like the one kid in the DARE class who they want to like
Who best
save.
embodies it.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Or who least embodies it.
Yeah,
Oh.
who they were like, and I knew it. They were like, the next award is for someone who we see potential in,
Right.
who doesn't need to go a certain way, da 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 da. And I remember being like, I'm about to get this fucking award. I can't fucking believe it. They're gonna give it to me. Meanwhile, we have like gangs at our school, like kids who are like,
You got like a murderer next to you.
yeah, like I mean, there was at least one murder at my high school every year. Now I'm talking middle school when Dare was, but like, you know, kids who were carrying guns to school who got like sent home and shit. Like there were kids who like definitely needed it more than my ass, who's like, I'm late to swimming, I don't care. But I knew I was gonna get it, and then she said my name, and I was just like, this is fucking insane. Like, I'll be okay. I think I'll be all right.
Maybe they knew those other kids were too far gone.
You can't think that way.
No, you got to protect those dudes.
Yeah.
They always got a chance.
You got to hear them at least.
Yeah.
You know, they might not even need your protection, but they need your ear.
That's real. All right, you guys ready? When did you ever say the F word in front of your parents? Do you say it now?
Now I do casually, but my dad is like, he was always like, homeboys don't swear, do we? You know? And then you just have to like lie to his face, like, no. I know I don't.
He still does that?
He doesn't. No. I mean, I do remember I came home from college for like holiday break and had a buddy over, and my dad, for the first time I ever heard him swear, I was drinking a beer with him. I guess we were 21 at this time because I couldn't drink in front of them like younger than that. And me and my buddy are standing there, and my dad just goes, yeah, well, you know, can't shit's cheddar. And I was like, what? And he goes, you can't bullshit a bullshitter. And I was like, and my buddy just nods his head like, yeah, for sure. And I was like, this is the first time I've ever heard my dad swear. Like,
was it awesome? Or were you like,
no,
like...
it's like the first time you see your dad cry, where you're like, the dog died and he's like, we're going to miss her. And you're like, dude, what's happening?
Right.
This is weird. But it just like, obviously like went right over my buddy's back. It was like, yeah, dad swear. Like your dad just sweared. But I was like in this moment, and yeah, my mom would swear a little bit. She'd be like, get your fucking ass downstairs now. You got to get to school.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice.
She would hate that I said that.
Oh, we can cut it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, is it all right?
She doesn't listen. No offense.
She's not a stoker?
No.
What does she listen to?
I don't know if it still exists, but she listens to
Prairie Home Companion.
WNUA 95.5. And if you're from Chicago and you're of a certain age, you know that that's like the smooth jazz radio station.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. She sounds hip.
A little like Kenny G, like Sade station.
Love Sade.
Yeah. No, she's not a Prairie Home Companion type. I married a Prairie Home Companion type, and the whole NPR thing is such a mind blower to me.
I've never listened to it.
I loved it for a couple years, but I can't go back.
It's unbelievable. The tone, and my sister-in-law works on Terry Gross, so like we're in.
Getting that fresh air.
And shout out Molly. And the tone of NPR is so different than anything I grew up with, because it's just so, I don't know what it is.
It's so precious.
It's so precious. It's so, I don't know. I can't describe it.
Isn't life interesting in a very non-high stakes way?
Yeah. It's, throw it on like your next long drive. It's like jarring to me. And like the men all have very kind of like
old fashioned.
They have a voice
no, like
affect.
kind of like a higher register.
Nasally. They're nasally.
It's like a higher register where it's like definitely not like a guy who's on like AM radio, right? Who's got like a booming like manly voice, and I'm delivering the news.
It's Ira Glass. It's like
it's that
Act One.
But
Act
like,
One, we go to a school.
Yeah, it's very gentle, and listening to it's fine, and I have my favorites, but it just is like this world that, you know, half of this country is listening to or whatever, that I just never had exposure to.
That many people listen to it?
I mean,
yeah, those shows like This American Life and like
they,
Fresh Air, those shows kill it. Those shows hit. Yeah, and there's good stuff, but for me it was nice because it was a departure from the bro culture I was a part of.
Right.
But then after a couple of years of it, I was like, nah. Dude.
Yeah, they got me with like, she got me with like Wait, Don't Tell Me, and
that is good. It's really fun.
Click and Clack when they were alive. Was it Click and Clack? Right.
I don't know that one.
The car guys. It's like just two.
Oh,
you call in
Car
and you
Talk.
go.
Wasn't that one just called Car Talk?
Thank you. And you call in and you go, I got a car, a 91 sob, and they're like, oh, beautiful. All right. And then they're like, just make the noise. And then you make the noise. So it's kind of funny to hear these people like step out of their shell and go, it's more of like a ga-ga-ga-ga-ga. And they're like, oh, it's a carburetor. And they tell you like what it should cost, how fucked you are, if you need to take care of it. And that was kind of fun.
The wit's high level on all those things too. Like when I listen to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, I'm like, damn, is this not written? I'm like, these people are
Yeah.
hitting some
You know, Wait,
punchlines.
Wait.
I don't know any of this shit.
Wait, Wait is like a current events kind of game show that has on stand-up
Paula
comedians.
Poundstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like some
And-
sophisticated San Francisco comedians.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
And
there
they
just ripping.
ask questions. You have like time and like hence wait, don't tell me. And then they have like people call in and they are competing against the people that are there every week.
It's a good program.
NPR. Just give it a whiff.
All right, we're about to dive into the Manscaped stories. How many submissions do we have? We have a few.
These are our top 3. So we had several, but then
Yeah.
we had our dude Jack sift through them, and these were the 3 that he picked as the best Manscaped stories.
Sweet.
So these have been vetted. And what does the winner of the comp get?
I think they get Performance Package 4.0.
Whoa.
That's the lawn. You get the lawnmower. You get the ball deodorant, the crop reviver, ball toner, body wash, cologne, weed whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer. I mean, your pubes,
You're taking
Dude.
such good care of your balls.
dude. It's gonna be epic.
So cool. Manscaped, Mr. Patterson. I'm a 25-year-old and fell in love with manscaping from the days when I started sprouting little pubes. I'm also a redhead, ginger, or fire crotch, as they so call them. I'm also a very hairy man, which he spelled like the name Harry. My pubes are wiring out of control if left untamed. My favorite manscaping story comes from the inspiration of The Lion King. After watching it with my GF in high school, I knew that lion's mane's color resembled my pube color. So what did I do? I trimmed the edges into a nice circular shape. I got rid of the dangly strays. I made my dong a lion's mane.
Nice.
It was awesome. I also left some longer on the edge and twirled them up to appear like a tail. It was legendary to see my dong become a ferocious lion with my shiny red pubes I was self-conscious of. It was liberating. No one laughed at me in the locker room after that. I was known as the lion's mane.
Dude, what a
Great
great
story.
story. I'm trying to envision like a lion's mane dong. Does it look like a big goatee?
It's hard not to picture the lion's face instead of the dick.
Yeah.
It's hard to see the lion's mane with a dick for a face.
Yeah. Lion King is a great movie though.
Yeah. You know what, dude? Just send us the photo of what it looked like so I can better understand.
Yeah.
Also, I
we'll-
love that he turned the tide of the locker room.
Yeah.
Like he came in one day and everyone was like, all right, this guy is the king now.
This is epic.
This guy's the man.
Yeah.
He's going to turn Pride Rock back to green because the king is responsible for the fertility of the land. Manscaped story from Jackson Katz.
Nice. Cool name.
What's up, dudes? Hope you guys are having a blessed day. For some weird reason, my horn game has never been lower. My girlfriend broke up with me about a month ago and just totally killed my vibe. My dong has never been lonelier, and many times I've been too down to even help him out. Means jacking on. Feels like we're rounding a corner soon. Listening to the pod has been helping us get the wheels back on track. Anyway, I was hooking up with my girlfriend on New Year's. I recently shaved my pubes for this occasion and was using an old razor. By accident, I cut my bad boy. I hate the blood stories. And had to put one of those circle band-aids on him. We're at the Rager, super horny. We went upstairs. The room was pitch black, and I just didn't tell my girlfriend about it. Once we're finished and turned on the lights, it looked like the red wedding. Blood was everywhere. We're both utterly shocked. We looked around, realized it was the parents' bedroom. I put the sheets in my backpack, and we left. I felt bad for taking their sheets, but I didn't want anybody to touch those again. It's a good story.
Yeah. Thanks for writing in.
Brutal.
I mean, the one time bringing a backpack to a party actually worked out.
Yeah, dude. Good call.
Okay, you can refer to me as Bo and Her. I know, confusing subject line, but it might make sense. Also, no blood, don't worry.
Nice.
Nice. My beautiful wife and I got home from my parents' house like 3 weeks ago, and she suggested we watch Gladiator and do some massages. Hell yeah, babe. That's what he wrote. I had even just trimmed up earlier that day while she was at work. Massages, trim nuts, Gladiator, perfect storm. Let's just say things got hot and heavy, like a fresh double-double animal style, extra animal. Anyway, I forgot to pull out until it was too late. Fast forward 3 days and my wife is feeling unwell. We waited about a week and got an early pregnancy test, and lo and behold, it was DEF positive.
Whoa.
Mind you, we were both 24 and have huge dreams to travel and stuff before we have kids. We eventually got stoked on the idea of naming our kid Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Sick.
A few days ago, to our shock and honestly our relief, she miscarried.
There's a lot of blood in the story now.
The power of manscaping is real. Sure, Gladiator probably played a huge role in us getting super hot and heavy, but I attribute the failed conception to the fact that we were both freshly groomed. I think babies know if you're still manscaping, you're not ready to be a dad. Moral of the story, don't manscape if you want to get a girl pregnant.
No.
Congrats, I guess. And also, listeners, don't take any of this as any... No.
That took a massive turn.
Yeah, and the medical or the advice was like really not on point.
Yeah.
You can get a girl pregnant.
Yeah.
The condom's the thing. You got to wear a condom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's good if they're on some contraception as well.
Yeah.
Did you also say they were at one of their parents' houses?
I think that was the earlier guy, right? Was this guy at his parents' house too?
Yeah.
Damn. Making babies at the same place where you got made into a baby. Jack, these were the 3 best.
Plus, well, I don't think you'd take a pregnancy test after a week after having sex. and
Yeah,
it'll
doesn't
show
it take?
positive.
Yeah, doesn't
You
it
have to
take
miss a period first.
She might be pregnant.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, she probably just had her period, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh, it's a
for
miscarriage.
information. Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
interesting. Yeah, 3 days seemed like quick.
Think we're gonna give it to the. Who do you think we're gonna give it to? I think
The
we're-
Lions man?
The Lions man guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, reach out, baby.
Respect.
Yeah.
Manscaped 4.0, guys.
Woo!
Best in the business.
All right.
Let's go. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode with Honors. We got part 2 coming up next week.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right.
Aaron, we missed you.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
tough,
I
man.
miss being here, man.
Could you have done 5 hours?
Yeah. My wife probably would have hated it, but yeah.
Nice.
I would have had the stamina, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Maybe when Strider comes in this week, we'll go for 6.
That'd be huge. All right.
All right.
Where do you think this is going to be in the episode? Do we go back to the show?
I was going to put it at the end, but it's up to you. What do you think?
Oh, nice. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Guys, enjoy Anders next week.
What is your beef of the week? Aaron, who's your beef of the week? Strider, who's your legend of the week? Joe, what's your quote of the week? Chad, what is your beef of the week? Aaron, who's your beef of the week? Strider, who's your legend of the week? Joe, what's your quote of the week? Chad, what is your beef of the week? Aaron, who's your beef of the week? Strider, who's your legend of the week? Joe, what's your quote of the week? Chad, what is your beef of the week? Aaron, who's your beef of the week? Strider, who's your legend of the week? Joe, what's your quote of the week?